Whoa, what's up, losers?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dusty
Lord.
Auspex is back in action.
Dusty
We're
Auspex,
back in action.
back.
We're a lot like the A-Team. We were out solving mysteries and crimes, and we're just taking care of business. But now that the NHL playoffs are over,
We're back.
we're back.
Because Canada has no interest in anything other than hockey when hockey is happening, and we get that.
That's correct. We get it, but I don't really get it. Like, I'm not a big hockey fan. I'm just putting that out there. I know a lot of people are going to say, but we're from Canada. And to them, I say, be original.
I do like Warhammer, though, Dan.
Yes, and
Fan of
on that
40.
subject, we are here at Hidden City Comics for the midnight release of 8th edition. Whoa!
We might have some feedback because there's a yellow wall here you can't see, but on the other side of it are people playing the ish out 8th edition right now.
That's right, because we would be fools to deny the fact that the rule sets did leak. There was a guy wearing a Celtic-looking wedding band who took all the photographs with his hands, and to be honest, we're players who are hungry for this game. We found them, we saw them. Nothing much we can do about that. We just want to play the new game.
That's right.
So there are lots of people playing right now, and guess what we have in our possession?
We are. Well, I am right now the proud owner of a 8th edition rulebook that cannot leave the store
That's correct.
until the clock strikes midnight.
And we also cannot show you any of the contents within. However, we can talk about them.
We can't talk about
That's
them.
right.
I can read them verbatim. So if you,
I'm going to start at page 1 and move my way through each book.
that's right. No, I'm not going to do that. But if you have a
2-hour
question
cast.
and you, for whatever reason, cannot get your hands on something, I'll try to help you out because we are going for a long cast tonight, Dan.
Yes, we're doing 2 hours.
Long haul cast.
Count them up. 1 hour. Count them up.
Say it again.
2 hours.
Hit him again.
I'm sorry I yelled.
Just the two. Just the
Okay,
two.
so, Rory,
Yep.
you and I have both played a few 8th edition games. I've played 3. I don't know how many you've got around.
5.
2, 5.
I'm at 5.
I think because it's so new, it would be worth discussing these games with the folks at home right
The
now.
microphone. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a great idea, Dan.
Yes, with 8th
Hit
being
'em.
the name of the show.
You know
I
what?
think
No, hold on. Say, you know what? You don't know nothing about the slow lead in. All right, you're not telling a story here. You're just like right to it. I bet you're terrible.
you gotta
at
let
that.
people know what's happening, man. You
Here
gotta
we go. Here's my dick.
You gotta hit them with the itinerary, and then you gotta complete that
you
itinerary.
gotta spin a yarn. I think that people want to know what you've been up to.
Look, when making love
what have you been doing
to a
in
lady,
preparation
you
for this
always
day?
let her know step by step what's about to
Man,
happen.
no one on the internet has seen you for like months.
Right.
You're not
Okay.
a
Yeah.
person
Sure.
then
Yeah.
anymore.
My car is the same.
No, not your.
My job is also the same.
What have you been hobbying? What have you been doing? What
Right. Okay.
have you been up to? Shouldn't have to hold your hand.
So-
Shouldn't have to hold your hand through.
Okay.
this,
You know.
that, right?
Well, you're not. So, anyway. I ended up buying some orcs. I don't know if we ever talked about that when the show was still on. Bought some orcs from local man Derek Ali. Very cool guy. He's actually here playing some games right now.
Yep.
He's playing a game with OV and Kyle and the homeboy Steve.
Right.
And Kyle told me, Steve doesn't know this yet, this game they're looking forward to because in 8th edition you can assault a flyer with a flyer.
Oh yeah, anything
Yeah.
with the fly special rule. One
So
of the
his
few
Magnus
universals.
is now going to be like ripping planes out of the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Which he's very excited about.
Assault Marines can assault a
Oh, really?
jet. Yeah, man.
God,
if you got the
see-
fly special rule, you're up in the air.
There's
man.
still so much that I'm trying to figure out with this,
Producer
but
Josh.
it's fairly basic, so
Yeah.
I don't think it'll take too long. I mean, I
No,
was
man.
listening to the Long War
It-
guys. They're saying probably within a month they're going to have it down. I think that's a fair assessment
Oh yeah,
for most people.
You know, I think that. Are you all right there, Josh?
Producer Josh is killing the game.
The thing is, it's so much simpler that it's more confusing. You know what I mean? You're looking for all these extra rules.
Yes, and they're not there.
And you're kind of like, well, what do you mean? Like, what does this do? Nothing. You just move
Yeah.
through it. You just play the game. Thanks, Josh. Producer Josh,
Right,
everybody.
very nice. Thank you, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
Josh. So I mean, I think that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I like it though.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you're just. It's like you've been in pre-cal for so long that now that you're in like the applied math.
Yeah, you're
Consumer,
in
you're
consumer math. They're like, yeah, figure out a mortgage. You're like, plus what?
Where's the tables? How many graphs do I have to make?
So yeah, honestly, aside from buying some orcs, I started working with them because I knew 8th was going to drop. I had a really good feeling that orcs were going to have a bit of a presence in 8th edition.
Oh, yeah.
And it is actually translated that way to a point where the stuff I bought, things that I didn't think I was going to need, I
You bought
now
a lot of
really
stuff. Like, you bought,
need.
like, I thought you were crazy. I was like, Dan's gonna, you're ruining your life right now. You bought like,
Yeah, I actually-
like $1,000 of used orc stuff, which is like a U-Haul.
I ended up
orc
playing a
stuff.
game against our friend Gabe, a 2K game on Friday, where I played with 135 infantry plus special characters. The only vehicle was a flyer because it kind of had like a point deficit at that point, and had 30 boy squads.
Point deficit. Someone went to college.
But yeah, no, I was
Deficit.
playing with 4 30-man units, and the best part is their psychers can fling around the table and all that. So
The orc
basically,
fluff is
I've
cool
been
now,
like,
man.
yeah, you know what, and it makes a lot of sense because. In 7th, Orc Boys were just a bag of shit. Like, there was literally no other way to
Don't
describe
mince
it.
words, Dan. Tell the internet how you really feel.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to take 10 boys in a truck. Cool. So you make a leadership check if you lose more than 2, which you probably will if the vehicle explodes, because they get wounded on a 4 and your save is a 6. So let's say, like, 4 to 6 guys get out of the truck. Now you got to do a leadership on 7, which is, like, probably not going to happen, as I found with my experience. Yeah. One game you might have where you pass it every single time, and then every other game it fails. So you took all these models for literally nothing, and they would just run off the table. There's no point in playing a 30-man unit. The Green Tide formation was like,
It
like
wasn't
100
what it
boys
used
is
to
cool.
be.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
wasn't what it used to be. But now 100 boys is like
It's serious.
a
Yeah,
force to be reckoned with.
I was playing against Gabe's Wolves. He had Thunderwolves. He had Bjorn. He had like
Let's just all
Najal.
say Bjorn for a minute, because that's a fun.
Yeah,
fun
Bjorn.
name.
Yeah, it's nice to see Bjorn.
It's
back
great.
into-
No, it is.
My baby Bjorn.
It is great to see Bjorn. It is actually great to see Bjorn. That's what I love about it. Like Gabe is a good friend of ours who we got into the game, and he bought whatever he wanted.
He thought, yeah, whatever
He
looked
didn't,
cool.
he didn't
is what he went
conform
for.
to
Yeah.
whatever was
Classic
competitive.
40K mindset.
But when I wrote his list, I mean, it's a lot of Thunderwolves and then, Najal and Bjorn and a bunch of other stuff. But I mean, all the name characters are great.
Yes,
Like,
and
they're
they come with their
all
war
worth
gear, all that
having.
stuff. So, like, the game against Gabe, I ended up flinging one squad, and the way that I'm playing now is I have 15 commandos and Boss Snickrod, who's like the commando special character, because they have what's like the new Deep Strike, which is deploy 9 inches at the end of the movement phase from an enemy.
Deep Strike is dope now.
Yes, yeah, big
Strike
time, because
is-
you can also roll your assault after.
And it comes in whenever you want it to.
Yes,
It's not.
that's another
like,
huge
there's
part
no,
of it.
like, there was a cloud in the way or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. And turn 1 can be one of those turns. You know what I mean? Like, so basically, I play the commandos with Snickrod. They deploy 9 inches from an enemy, and then the weird boy flings 30 boys at another 9 inches from an enemy.
Right.
So I now have 2
how hard
units.
is that to get off?
It's very easy. So basically, you have to roll 2d6 and score 7 or higher, but you add +1 to that roll for every 10 orc models within 6 inches of you.
Oh, so it
Yeah.
becomes like an auto.
It's pretty much like if you roll a 3 or a 4, it's not going to happen. But the weird boy also sucks. So you're not going to like put him at the front of your army. You're going to keep him at the back where he's surrounded with shit.
Yeah, man. Characters are different now. Everything's different now.
Yeah,
Very
it's
different place.
really, really different. But like honestly, orcs now went from an army that pretty much was going to suck at a tournament to now I can have 2 charges on my first turn and they're rerollable.
Yeah.
So it's a legitimate huge change.
Yeah, man. What about you've been painting some other stuff too, though? I know.
Yes, yeah. I was working on some Talos because the Caligari Crusade is coming up,
Yeah.
and so I'm going to be running Dark Eldar.
Let
for
everybody know what that is if they don't.
that. Yeah, that's right. So that's the narrative campaign that 40 Below Gaming's doing. It's
Narrative
going to run
narrative
for a
with-
long time.
You can't really call it a narrative though, because I mean it is narrative at heart, but in rule set it is competitive.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right? We're not going with, like, the-
we're not.
the
Yeah.
power levels,
in the
yeah.
new rule books and stuff, there are narrative gaming rules and there are matched play, as they call it, which is competitive, which
Right.
we're all going to end up using because it's the most rules, right? But narrative campaign. So we've got, I'm assuming, a map and stuff like that.
Yep.
But they're each faction is spread into Eldari, which is sort of our blanket Eldar models now. The Imperial stuff, the Chaos stuff, and the Xenos. Originally, I registered as Xenos. I was going to bring the greenskins, but the registration kind of got bunged up somewhere, and there was a
Right.
dude with NIDS who had paid already, had to come in.
Yeah, I got bumped.
So
right
you
out.
got bumped, and
got
then
bumped.
I got bumped over to Eldari.
That's okay though. You know what? I was a filler. I didn't want to play.
You were a
anyway.
filler,
I
yeah.
didn't wanna
And you
play
know what?
anyway.
I am going to be bringing, as they're now called, Drakari.
Yeah, I mean,
It's copyrightable. That's or trademarkable or whichever one.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the same boat. I can't wait till they change orc
like
to something stupid.
Maybe I'll get used to it. Maybe, but right now I don't.
Well, I still call Space Marines, and Imperial Guard. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
not
exactly.
like Astra Militarum and Adeptus Astartes.
Sisters of Battle. Like, you wish I was calling it Sororitas.
Yeah, Adeptus Sororitas.
That's not happening.
Adeptus Astartes.
Sororitas. Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Astartes.
But that being said, I understand they gotta copyright stuff and whatever.
Yeah, they want to own the names, and I think
continue to call them
a big part of that is probably an offshoot of the lawsuits that all went down with their IPs and like letting third-party modelers build stuff and sell it. And
I get it. I understand. Yeah. As an adult, I understand it. As an asshole, it's stupid.
No, I think a fair assessment would be as an adult, it's stupid, and as a member of capitalism, you understand why it exists.
Right.
Honestly, like, just let people make stuff. That's what I'd like to see.
Anyway.
I play this hobby. I'm still going to buy your stuff regardless.
Whatever.
Thank you for 8th edition while we're on
I'm pretty happy about
train.
that. Yeah, listen, there's no hate. There's lots of love.
I would say the biggest change from 8th to 7th, or 7th to 8th, has got to be, a lot of people are calling it a dumbing down of the rules. I'm calling it simplifying.
Man, it's a purge.
Yes. And you know what? Like, introducing, we talked about Gabe earlier, my girlfriend's brother, Chris, the brother-in-law, as we've been calling him.
I got these two guys into it. Yeah, new people. Yeah. Hey, listen, you can't take all the credit for Gabe. Let's just
no, that's on it. Yeah, that's true. We got these guys into the game though, but like introducing someone who's never played any edition previously to 7th edition was like
daunting. No,
producer Josh, for example.
Nobody is going to take the time to read all the material, right?
You're going to buy all those books, all that stuff.
You can't even let them rely on third-party list building stuff because I mean they don't really understand that either, right? You can't be like, just make a battle scribe list, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, then you get, and it's like, okay, build this starter box. It's like everyone has a power fist. You know
what's really interesting too is that we're all starting from the same place now because weapons changed. Like since the dawn of time, for me, which is 3rd to now, the last cannon was always 48-inch range, strength 9 AP2. Never changed.
Nope.
I knew how many points it was. Usually, depending on the edition, but like
it don't.
Now it's like seriously changed.
People like, I mean, I don't understand how you can call. I mean, like, okay, maybe the layout in these books isn't exactly perfect, but I do like the. Again, producer Josh giving us notes in the back here. I do like the way that it works. That everything has like the same points value. The war gear is universal. Yeah. If you can memorize that table pretty quickly. I'm not saying like sit home and like read that page until you know it by heart. But I mean the stuff you use often, you're gonna
a las cannon now costs the same on a Marine as it does a Predator, as it does whatever. Yeah. It's not like for some reason it's 15 points on a Marine and then or 20 points and then it's like however many on whatever.
Right.
It's universal. Everything. As soon as you've memorized these tables, you're going to know them perfectly for everything. And a reason that's important is because models start naked now.
Right.
Which I didn't pick up on at first.
Yeah, everyone's like making these ridiculous lists. They're like, how did you get that much stuff in there? Oh, nothing.
Dreadnought, 72 points, and it comes with like an assault cannon and a claw?
No, it does not.
No, that is not the case. You got to pay for those things.
You are friggin' cheating, buddy.
So the way it works, in case you haven't been following all the leaks and stuff, is you take the model, you look at the back of what the actual base point cost is for it, then you look at what the stock weapon choices are, and then you add the value of those weapons.
Unless it's a character and it stipulates otherwise.
Yeah, anyway, all characters have free, like all their war gear is all included.
That's the direction it's going in. I think it's a better system. I think a lot of the people that have problems with it right now are going to come around.
Yeah,
it's way faster. I think it is a more balanced edition. I will admit, Imperial Guard scare the shit out of me now.
Yes, well, the Shadow Sword is a monster.
Yeah, any game I've seen that thing in it is devastated.
I think there's a lot of strength in playing single wound models.
Well, and it's not to say that this Shadow Sword's unkillable either. You know what I mean? Like if you had like a lucky Devastator squad, with like
four las cannons could really whip that thing in one turn.
It could. Well, I mean,
you won't blow it up,
5 or 6 like happily, but yeah,
2 turns, 4 las, you could probably do it.
You're putting it into its lower stat line.
Yeah, because a las does D6 wounds now, and with vehicles not having armor values. D6, that's really strong. D6. That's really strong. Like if you roll 3 ones, obviously that sucks. But let's say you have a Laz with a twin link and 2 other ones, say 3 of them hit and they wound, and then you roll your damage. What's the average there? Roughly 7 or 8 wounds at least.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, you're going to damage stuff severely with las cannons. Las cannons are the new Space Marine meta.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It's nice to see them come back to that spot, because the las cannon in the fluff and everything has always been this awesome epic weapon, and then in 7th edition it was like
friggin' laser beam,
take it or leave it. Probably gonna leave it. Grav's pretty good.
It didn't do anything to troops before, and I mean now it kind of overkills troops. You want to hope that you're to hit, or
you want to be shooting at vehicles or bikes. Like bikers all have multiple wounds now. Terminators, shit like that is going to be where your multiple wounds really come in handy.
Well, I mean, you start making like goofy lists now too, right? You're like, I'm going to just play as many Space Marines on foot as I can get in this list, and as long as you make like 20 of those guys holding las cannons, that's a good list.
With the beauty of everything being able to wound on a 6, regardless of the toughness and strength values, it really opens up all of these different types of ways of playing the game that never were viable before. Because in 7th edition, and honestly, it's the people who are the most upset about 8th, I find, are the ones who are the most competitive in 7th.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff that they'd been used to for these years, which were, I'm not going to say auto wins, because it's not really a thing that exists, but pretty dang close.
There were things that were close. They were pretty,
So a lot of those guys have lost the ability to play those lists. Not everyone's upset, but some people really are pushing back because they haven't figured out how to deal. Like, they're still stuck in Death Star mode.
I consider myself to be a power gamer, or at least a fan of playing like a power gamer, and I'm excited for this edition. I think that it's taken all the stuff that everybody had already figured out, and you were seeing the same thing over and over again, and now it's a wild frontier of who can break this the fastest.
And you know what?
Best,
like,
right?
it's if you're in all the Facebook groups, there's been a lot of people trying and like figure out how to break the edition. And the nice part is like, even though it's not perfect, there's been typos, there's been stuff like that. There's at least all these stopgap measures. So where if someone, for example, the guy who was saying, just change your like Cabal to Ultramarines, and then all of the Homunculus to give your Marines +1 toughness.
It's gone.
Oh, like change your keywords. That is not how it's written.
See, actually, I want to interject. We got a question from the message board here. MG Mitchell has a question about, but how do I power list if it's balanced? It is balanced, but it's not like infallibly balanced. Like, there are ways to spin things in your favor. It's ultra math hammer.
There are still really powerful units in this. Example, Magnus can move, 32 inches in one turn if he gets his power off.
And Homer's trying to take a shot at me here, damn Tauta armies, and I love that army. I apologize.
Also, shout out to the Brandon crew.
Yeah, hello to Brandon.
However, Homer, your Magnus is still quite valid. Magnus is actually strong as hell in this edition.
Is gross.
He's a little less strong. I think this is what Kyle was saying. He's a little less strong than he was overall. Yep. But now he's a little more purpose-based. So when I played a 2v2 with Kyle and Juice, and who's our fourth? It was in your basement. Derek, yes. So...
Stop hitting the table, man.
Right, yeah, I keep doing that.
You got you had a
That's
message
what
from
Josh's warning was.
Do not hit the table. You've done nothing but hit the table.
So arms down. We played in the basement, and it ended up being that Magnus moved across the board immediately.
Yeah.
And then basically swept through the backfield.
He did gross
just
stuff.
Eating vehicles every turn.
The psychic powers aren't as threatening anymore.
The mortal wounds suck, but...
Mortal wounds suck, and his warp time getting across the board is bad. Now, but, the way it works now is with, like, HQs buffing things, right? I mean, like, he's gross on his own.
You can't really do multiple buffs, though, which is nice. It's not like 7th where you can just stack all these things in there, and then it's like, you can't kill my stuff, because...
I mean, but you can have... It's area of effect now, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to... And the way that independent characters work, you can position things in a way that kind of accomplishes the same stuff that it used to, but you have to think way harder about it.
Sort of. Like things like my Homunculus +1 toughness ability, the way it's worded, it says, if your units with Homunculus Coven abilities are within 6 inches of one or more of these units, they get +1 toughness. Right. Which means I can't stack it.
Within one or more.
Yeah. Because if this guy's within one or more of these guys, he gets +1 toughness. He doesn't get it for each guy.
is it not? All right, whatever. We're gonna come back to that.
Yeah. So if you consider it, just think of it like this. So if my guy is within range of one guy or two guys or three guys,
yeah,
he gets +1 toughness.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it more like the other ones where, it's everything within 6 inches rerolls.
That's what I thought. And I'm thinking like, holy crap, if I take two of these and then I have +2 toughness to my Talos, that's really strong.
Right.
Not the case. I cannot actually do that.
No.
So there are lots of little stopgap measures to prevent ultimate power gaming. The thing that I really like too is that there are some sort of I don't know how to put this. There are elements of the new rule set that are a little more complicated at face value, like the rerolls thing,
right.
Where if you have a modifier to hit, for example, that modifier is not applied for the purpose of the reroll.
Right. Yeah. If you need a 3-up to hit normally and you roll a 3, you do not get to reroll that 3.
That's correct.
Because before modification, it passed. After the modification, however, that would fail. So only 2s and 1s are actually eligible to be rerolled. I think that's one of the more poorly worded ones. Because, when I read that first, I was like, so wait a minute, I can fail all these and then roll them again and just need a 3-up?
It's another one of those things where I was like, I get why they did this, but I also find the way they did it to be extraordinarily confusing.
Well, there should be an FAQ very soon, actually. And that seems odd given that the edition just dropped, but GW has promised to be more involved. And I believe there's an FAQ to drop actually within the next few days.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see if they hold true to that. Awesome. But apparently there's going to be one right away. I just want to interject here on this filibuster of a podcast. We have guests that are going to be coming on throughout the show, as we do have a whole room full of guys playing 40K right next door.
So a room full of narcs.
A room full of nerd. So our guests for tonight are Scott Newall, a guard player. Josh, no last name, just a hyphen. I'm assuming that's producer Josh.
Josh Hyphen.
Who is a NIDS player. And boy, is it a good time to come into the game brand new playing NIDS.
Yeah, actually, producer Josh was with us on Friday. He threw down against Kate.
That has never been a sentence that has said, oh, you're new? Grab NIDS. Well, not 10 years anyway.
Not by anyone who knew what they were talking about.
Chris Brown, still rocking the Unari. Still rocking them. I've kind of fallen out of love with them, man.
They're not
corn-oriented.
They're not that bad. But the nice thing about this edition is that they're not the only army you own that's going to really put up a fight.
Man, I have sat on... Templars, I have yet to kind of see the light with them, just because there's no Space Marine flavor. I might just get my boots. I might get my boots knocked off with how amazing they are. But the Khorne Berserker Bloodthirster combo that I've kind of got going on, and I just got the Imperial Armor EPUB tonight for Chaos. Bloodslaughterers are dope.
Yeah.
I am so pumped
that I was reading that outside.
A full Hellforge Hunting pack and 8 of them sitting on a shelf because they are awesome.
What kind of entry do they count for? Heavy support?
I believe they're heavy support. I would have to check. It's an EPUB. It's on my phone.
Right. Yeah. Later.
I will confirm that after the break, which I'm sure there will be a few of.
Also, before we move on here, I think you brought something with you today that you were.
I did bring some today. A very, very special prize. Right here, I have a 7th edition Demon's Codex.
And let me just say, this is in nice shape. Guys.
It does not. It kind of does have the new book smell, actually. It smells a little bit like the floor of my van.
New book smell.
Little bit.
Some of the edges are worn. Not a big deal.
If you like frightening art and you enjoy,
watercolor paintings?
Or like archaeology even.
Yes,
if you're into archaeology at all and like things of the past, you could probably still play this with somebody I know who hates 7th or 8th edition.
Also consider this. You don't have to be playing 7th edition to get enjoyment out of this book.
You don't.
Maybe you have friends in your life who say, man, every time around you grind my soul down. Well, guess what? We got stats for soul grinders in here, folks.
MG Mitchell has a suggestion that we light it on fire. So, you know what? Why don't we throw this to you? I will give this to anybody who wants it, or you can think of the most creative way to destroy it, and the most...
But if you can make it into a beautiful art piece,
That true.
That would be even better.
That true. If you
I
would
think
like
though,
to
like
make
we
a
should really like hard sell them on some of the stuff in this book.
I think that it's an underrated codex in that it's a hardcover, it's shiny, it's no longer appropriate.
Yeah.
For the time, it's like...
let's say you got a family member who watches a lot of vampire movies. We got stats for bloodthirsters.
Maybe you want to draw some. Anyway, so as
maybe
the
your
show
uncle
goes
is
on,
a dirty
I'm
man.
going to keep pitching this. I'm going to find ways to make it appealing. Or you can, if I find the most creative way to destroy it, we might go with that too.
We got stats for the great unclean one in here.
We do. Yeah, we've got bloodletters, thirsters, all of them, all the bloodies, all the changes.
You can get blood. You can get plague. Anyway, all that kind of stuff.
That's the thing. I'm gonna make you want this. I'm gonna make you love it. You're gonna love it. Anyway, some other goodies that we got here that we have picked up at the store, and I want to take another second quickly to shout out Hidden City Comics.
Yep.
Hey, Scott, Josh, Scott, what's the address here?
714 Watt Street.
714 Watt Street. They are our number one sponsor right now. It is an awesome comic book shop. They've got other...
And they're the coolest mules in town.
Nerd-related knickknacks, which I'm sure you'll love, as I do. And space for games.
Yeah, actually, it's really nice. The way it's kind of set up is like it's almost like two locations, but one half's devoted to gaming and storage and stuff, and then the other half is like all the goods and all that.
Separated by just a wall. Come check it out.
Very nice.
I like it. Anyway, I want to take a quick second to talk about item number one that we picked up.
Oh, yes. Let's have a look here.
The command dice. I feel like I should give an honest review of the command dice.
Yeah.
I think they're nice. They're well made. They're fun to look at. I mean, they kind of like there's two different kinds of dice. There's wound counters, which is D6 with a skull on them. Yeah. And then there's other ones that kind of cover the actions that you can take part in during the phase.
Do they differ from these ones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those are wound trackers. These kind of have like I think it's maybe these are objective markers too. They're just dice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like D6, and then there's the other ones that kind of say, I've fallen back, or I'm in cover, or whatever. Just kind of help you. They remind you what you already did in the game. They
remind you of who you are.
I don't think they are like the most
here.
important thing. I think they're nice. I think I bought them. I mean, I don't hate that I bought them. I don't think you need them, but I don't hate that I bought them. So, command dice. Rory says,
but
buy them.
Unlike the Demon's Codex, which
you do
believe me, you do need that Demon's Codex.
You want to show people that you knew what this game was about before.
Look, you know what? Rory said he was going to give it away. We're going to start it at $5.
$5,
right? Yeah, $5 is where this Demon's Codex is at. Because you know what? Free. People don't like free.
Hey,
how often
you
you go
buy
on?
it now, because in an hour it's going to be $10.
I never go on Kijiji free section because I know it's all garbage.
$120.
Right? Yeah, exactly. No one wants free stuff because they know it's garbage.
The value of this is skyrocketing. I swear to God.
Now it's $750.
$700.
Stop waiting.
$700.
That's really high.
We're not going to go.
What do we got next on this hit parade?
The other thing I picked up is the tactical objectives, which behave exactly like the tactical objectives that you're used to.
Oh, really? Like, is it the same deck?
No, Dan. It's not the same deck. Don't be
what are you talking about?
Don't be crazy. It's the objectives are different. They're the same ones that are in the rule book.
Right.
So you don't have to buy these. I find them incredibly convenient. I would definitely not want to have to.
So far, you're doing a great job of selling this stuff.
No. Okay. If it was like you had to kill one of them. Somebody's got a gun to your head.
Is it the dice or is it
kill the dice?
Okay, there you go.
Kill the dice.
Yeah.
I would say buy the dice. If you're gonna buy them at Hidden City Comics. For the love of God, they will hit me. I don't know who they are. Well, they know who they are. Anyway, not the dice, but the tactical objectives. That's where the fun comes from.
All right.
I would buy them.
Good, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
Do I get the job? Am I yeah.
All right.
That's the review of that so far. We're gonna do more reviews as the night trails on. You all right, Dan?
Is that where the reviews end?
No, I mean for now. We don't need to. I'm not gonna. I don't want to spoil the.
You're not gonna blow the whole load.
Wait till I start talking.
No, don't show it. If you're not gonna do the review, don't show it.
It's called titillating.
Yeah, well,
titillating. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway. All right, we got to walk on by our homeboy Steve here. See you later, Steve.
More of a walk through. Anyway, we're in a comic book store, guys.
Yeah. So, continuing this delicious train.
Just continue.
Oh, great. Brendan Krusty showed up.
There he is.
Great. You have tattoos and you've never had booze?
Wait, I drink.
How does that work?
Yeah, there we go.
What's going on?
Don't worry, I still like you.
What is this? That's old school, buddy.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm trying to give this away.
We're trying to
I
actually
was
sell
giving
it
it away,
right
and they
now.
missed their chance. It's $5. You want this?
Brendan, do you want to give a quick pitch
take it for
on the
free.
Chaos
Brendan,
Demons Codex?
Everyone, Brendan
People should
Krusty.
buy this.
There's 4 different demon gods. Everybody plays Zinch. Not fun.
Everybody plays Zinch.
There you go. There you go. Nice. Thank you.
Word of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan
We're bumping
Krusty.
here.
He could be teaching your
Live.
children.
Live
He could be
and-
around your children.
Live and bumping.
Get me a job.
Sometimes he's around your children.
It's okay, Dan.
He's a jobless man who spends time with your kids.
I think we've meandered around this long enough.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Legal. I've got documents.
Never mind.
Hey, you never know who's going to come on through.
So
on the
legally
Dusty
he can work
Auspex
in Canada.
Live 2-hour release. Tell me about some games.
Right. Yes.
Talk about
so
some games,
okay.
bruh.
First game
Dan,
of 8th edition.
Shut the hell up and talk about some games. For the love of God, man.
First game I played of 8th edition was against Kyle.
Yep.
And Kyle played as Admech. I played with some orcs. Played with a couple battle wagons, a couple groups of boys, a little
You
weird
say
boy
bagel
action.
wiggle or you don't say it at all.
I played some bagel waggles,
Thank you
man.
very much.
Yeah, I played with 2 actually in both games. So
Those
first one I played
waggles.
him, we played a 1-on-1, then we did a 2-on-2. Both games had the bagels out, man, and they did okay. I find, this is just my opinion, because a lot of weapons now are dealing multiple wounds. I'm finding
Most
putting
weapons.
a lot of eggs in vehicle baskets still not as strong.
You need
Like,
a gimmick. You need
Yeah.
you need a gimmick. You either need a bunch of them, or what my big love right now is pop and smoke in cover.
Yes.
Pop and smoke in cover
Yeah.
is amazing. -1 to hit, +1 to your save. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, like vehicles are stronger to a degree now. Like an 18 wound battle wagon is 100 times better than one that dies
I
from
can't
melt
believe
a
they
shot.
had 18 wounds.
One that dies from like bolter fire. Like you could shoot the back of a battle wagon and just blow it up on glances.
You could.
But there's still a lot of stuff that does mortal wounds, that does a lot of multiple wounds. So like there was a turn where I had a battle wagon take 13 wounds in one turn, and I kind of went,
It's not dead, though. I mean, it's not going.
no,
very
it's going
fast
slower and it's shooting worse, but it's still there, which is nice. But that's why I wouldn't take a whole bunch of them. That's why I wouldn't play with like 5 battle wagons, is because people can devastate them decently with small arms
They're
fire.
like a rhino now. Like you either keep them in cover and skirt them around the edge, or you run them in as a way of delivering as much as you can. Inside
and
of
with
it
def rollers, I was able to tie up units and be relatively effective.
Are
in
they
that
good
way.
now? They're good again.
Def
right?
rollers got good again. Yeah,
Def rollers
yeah,
got
they
good.
actually do some damage now, whereas before they were really crappy. And then in 5th they were really good.
Who would have thought that a big drum with chains and spikes on it attached to it, like hot rod built by green maniacs,
Which
would
is
be
like
dangerous.
the size of 4 Sherman tanks.
Yeah, let's roll over some shit.
Let's squish it.
We're
and
in
also
charge
perforated.
Welcome to my life.
But yeah, that's why I'm kind of finding large groups of single wound models that aren't going to suffer from leadership, obviously, because morale is very different now.
Well, as long as you got more than 10, they just go with a number, right? Or for every 10,
For
they
orc
get plus
boys,
1?
like with my orc boys, they're basically mob size. So I'm doing leadership 30 at the start of the game, and then it
that
just
came
drops
back.
down to
Mob
like
size
whatever. So you're pretty much fearless as the game progresses, and then at a certain point, you kind of hit a threshold where you're like, all right, now they're going to start running away. But I find it represents the actual concept of morale fantastically, because you have a large group of dudes who are all jazzed up and ready to go fight in a war. They're not all just going to start running away because they're like, oh, we got shot at. You know, like they're going to wait until there's small numbers and then they're going to start shafting. And that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's how it works in real life.
Yeah,
once your squad's been like cut down by 3/4, you're like, this isn't really worth it anymore.
We're playing a war game again. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We're not being bogged down by a lot of these, we're not Soviet era tacticians.
Yeah.
We don't need it. We don't need every little thing, you know what I mean? I love that difficult terrain is gone. I love that you just move the guys through the cover now.
And you only take a penalty if you're charging. You get the -2. But the strength in the low wound models is beautiful in that, like, a list with a shadow sword, which just played Juice. Juice had a Land Raider, which is really strong. It's like 24 wounds now or something. And he had an Imperial Knight, which I think is the same number of wounds, 24. the Shadow Sword whipped both of them. And a vehicle like a Shadow Sword, it's doing assault or heavy 2d6, I think, is it? Or no, it's 2d6 damage. I think it's just heavy d6 shots. Regardless, 2d6 damage means literally nothing to a single wound model. It's almost a wasted shot.
No, exactly.
So if you don't provide all these targets for these crazy vehicle hunters, you honestly put them on their back foot because they're not really going to have the same choices available to them. They're going to be shooting las cannons at you with their infantry. Also big deal, right? Like a las cannon is going to kill one orc boy, whereas a las cannon might kill a rhino. Things like that. So it's a very interesting addition.
Tim Greer is saying, the tactical cards are the same as 7th.
Let's find out.
I'm going to feel so stupid if they are, but it actually looks like they might be. I mean, they're similar.
It looks like there's subtle differences. Supremacies in this one,
I mean, I don't think they're exactly the same.
No.
But I think that the old ones would probably still...
To be confirmed? Yeah, we're not sure.
I don't think they're exactly... Because there's a couple that are different. Or at least there's named different things. I don't know. Can I show the cards? Okay, I can show the cards. Anyway, I feel like a magician. These guys, they look different. They're worded differently. I'd have to actually go through it, but they might legitimately be the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I now have 6 of these decks, which is great. Either way, I don't know. Buy them anyway. Screw it.
How about the games you've been playing, Rory? You were involved in one of the games you played.
I was involved in one of the games I played. The one I played with you.
Yeah.
What I found, the first game I played against Scott. I've never lost a game of 40k that badly, ever.
Bro, he shadow sworded you, right?
Well, okay, I had like a fun list, and Scott brought like nothing but Lehman Russes and a shadow sword, and I didn't get a single kill, and he just throw jizz at me. Is that what just happened? He slaughtered me. I didn't get a single kill. He killed my entire army. So there was a little bit of a power discrepancy there. Fun list versus a little bit more of a competitive one. Garter Gross also.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? Like, if you keep going, but we're gonna get Scott Newell in here really shortly,
Great.
Who was playing some games tonight with the Gross Guard stuff. So he'll be able to attest to that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But continue on. Like, I remember hearing about the Scott game and just going, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Well, essentially, all my tanks were really far away. Everything else was in rhinos, so he was like as far away from me as he could possibly be, and he was just blowing me up one thing after the other. So nothing got to where it was supposed to be. By the time I actually got to him, I think I got to him with like 6 Khorne Berserkers against like...
Berserkers are really good now.
They are good, but they are not good enough to take down...
Don't they get double fight phase?
They do. I love the Khorne Berserkers. That's not the problem. The problem was it was not a competitive list. The one that I'm playing now is a bit more aggressive than the other one was. So
how do you want to do this here, Scotter? Cool.
Yeah, I think we're doing guest time.
All right, so we're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back with... that was Juice, if you couldn't hear him. He's the #1 opponent of 8th edition. We'll get him on the show at some point. That's a productive idea. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our first guest tonight will be the homeboy Scott Newell.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Wiener! Doing guest time.
All right, so we're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back with... that was Juice, if you couldn't hear him. He's the #1 opponent of 8th edition. We'll get him on the show at some point. That's a productive idea. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our first guest tonight will be the homeboy Scott Newell.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Wiener! Doing guest time.
All right, so we're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back with... that was Juice, if you couldn't hear him. He's the #1 opponent of 8th edition. We'll get him on the show at some point. That's a productive idea. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our first guest tonight will be the homeboy Scott Newell.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Wiener! Doing guest time.
So we're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back with... that was Juice, if you couldn't hear him. He's the #1 opponent of 8th edition. We'll get him on the show at some point. That's a productive idea. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our first guest tonight will be the homeboy Scott Newell.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Doing guest time.
So we're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back with... that was Juice, if you couldn't hear him. He's the All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Producer Josh has a criminal record. We're here at Hidden City Comics for part 2 of the midnight release of 8th edition. We are very excited. We've got with us our first guest of the evening, Mr. Scott Newell.
Primero guest.
Oh, hey.
I see you. I
see you're edging over for that Demons book.
Demons.
Isn't that exciting?
Scott offered to buy this for $100.
Yeah, so current bid is at $100. It's memorabilia at this point.
Yeah. It's collectible. It's OOP.
Nice. Yeah, at some point, someone's going to ask you if you have one, and you'll be able to say yes.
So we're going to talk to Scott here, who just played his first 8th edition game.
I did.
That was your first one?
That was my first.
Wow.
And you have not played for a little bit of time.
I took a break like midway through 7th. Just kind of like...
Understandable.
Wasn't really my thing, but with 8th coming out, I'm pretty excited, so...
Did you play much before 7th?
I did. I started in 3rd edition, actually. I played pretty much all the way through until like 7th and took that break.
How do you find that the new edition compares to 3rd?
Well, that's a good question.
It's pretty different. Like, I played a lot of 3rd myself.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, like, is Rhino Rush a thing going to be a thing in 8th? Because that was huge in 3rd.
I'm trying it.
I'm
trying it with
to a degree, yeah. Like, you can't get it off turn 1, obviously.
Right.
But turn 2 is a big possibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, I liked nothing is like indestructible anymore. So like in the game we were playing a few minutes ago, like a lasgun took 2 wounds off an Imperial Knight, which was pretty cool. So there's no more of that like 2+ rerollable and vulnerable save stuff.
Yeah.
So that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's good.
The cheese has kind of been tamed.
Yeah.
The cheese is weapon profiles now. That's where the cheese
is. It's funny. I distinctly, like, we were outside just before this on the break, and Scott was mentioning playing against the classic Iron Hands Bike Star, which had the 2-up, 3-up, 2-up
I don't know
rerollable stuff.
Would you explain that to me?
I think we've probably all encountered that at one point in time. I remember when that power creep came into the basement, though, because when we got back into it, we were still playing of the mindset, very noobishly. What did we think looked cool? What did we like as a unit? Right. Personally, not
How
because of what we did.
How stupid was?
Yeah.
Like, why would
but when we first saw that, I had that same reaction that you had, where I played against and went, okay, I reroll this, and he's good. And I went, that was my whole shooting phase.
That was like 100 guardsmen and like 7 tanks. And you just
shrugged it all off because you're made of magic.
No, man, I would play Sid's list, and I would have 18 scatter laser bikes and 15 warp spiders. Yeah. Rapid firing at a 5-man unit with just the Cataphracti Terminator.
Yep.
And he would shrug off all of it.
And you know what sucked too is like when Celestine came out, it only helped that build because they're like, oh, now I don't have to pay for the conclave. I can just run this chick who's like amazing at shrugging everything.
Oh, and she comes back to life after you manage to actually kill her. That's nice. So
in the game you just played, what was your list like? What did you actually bring, and how many points did you play?
It was kind of pretty cheesy list. So I did it was 1250, and about 570 of that was the Shadow Sword.
Understandable.
So there's like 2 Russes in it, like a plasma tank with a tank commander, so you can reroll those ones if you miss.
Very nice.
And Russes are fucking dirty, and that's my second swear of the episode, and it totally deserved to be had there. I'm getting a disappointed head.
They're really good though. They're a workhorse, and they in the fluff, and they should be on the table too.
They're good too. If you pair it with the tank commander, if you fire your plasmas on overcharge, it's not as deadly. Although if you do manage to re-roll, like roll a 1 and then roll another 1, your tank's pretty much gone.
It's just gone. It's slain.
Yeah, it's like 6 mortal wounds to it or something.
Really? Is that because you failed 2?
Oh yeah, vehicles.
How does that work?
Yeah, if you overcharge it and you roll a 1, then you lose 6 mortal wounds, but the tank commander allows you to re-roll once if you miss.
Oh, man.
So you could spend a command point, too, I guess. Oh, no, you can't re-roll a re-roll.
6 mortal wounds for the overcharge.
Could you re-roll that? No, you cannot re-roll that re-roll.
That is a tax.
If it's a guy, it's just dead.
Yeah.
Like, if you had, like a character...
Oh, yeah.
It is gone.
It's punishing, for sure.
Slain.
And you were playing against Juice. Juice, it looked like... What did he have? It looked like he had, like, a Land Raider and...
Yeah, he took an Imperial Knight, Land Raider... with like a commander solo in the Land Raider, and then like I think a scout squad and 2 5-man attack squads with las cannons.
Right.
And the las cannons should have pulled some weight. Like we were talking about this, like the counter to the Shadow Sword is deep striking or getting a bunch of melta-guns in there, or just las cannons. Like 4 las cannons have the potential to kill or cripple it. I mean, if you had a perfect, 6s on 6s,
And you said it had 26 or 28 wounds?
Yeah, toughness 8, 26 wounds.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there are a few units that do have multiple wound combat weapons. Like I know, I think it's kill saws or whatever, each do 3 damage. Like there's no D3, it's just straight up 3.
Right.
I think Magnus is like that too, actually, does 3 damage per wound. So in all honesty, like you really run the risk if stuff gets close to it, but
for sure,
provided it doesn't.
You got to bubble wrap it with like 30 plus conscripts so that like nobody can actually physically get within an inch of it because there's so many bodies surrounding.
Yes, because that's a new rule too. Yeah, if you get within an inch of an enemy, even if you're not engaged, you didn't charge them, they count as being engaged, right?
At the start of the movement phase, you got to make a choice.
Yeah,
that's correct.
I do like that. I think that the new kind of rules of engagement are helpful. It's not as concrete as before. You still have options. You're not just locked in a combat that you know you're going to lose. But you have to sit there and continue to fight, which I think is good.
For sure. That was one of the most frustrating things in the last edition is like somebody would charge my guard and just murder them, but there'd be like 3 left, and then they'd make that like miraculous leadership check, and then they're just locked in, and I can't shoot them, but I want to.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Now you have the choice. You can fall back if you want to. Obviously, there are penalties for that. Not everything receives those penalties, like certain walkers, stuff like that. But
Tau.
Yeah.
Most of Tau. For
sure.
Tau's good.
They're just like, I'll just jetpack backwards.
Too, though, because you can just put orders through, essentially, right? So
there's one that allows you to like shoot after having fallen back from a combat, so it's pretty useful.
Bullshit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Juice again.
A happy customer, big supporter 8.
I believe that was a homeless man who just shouted in the door.
That is Scott's opponent.
Very happy
to play the Shadow Sword.
Well, Scott, it looks like producer Scott is giving us the old time mark there. I think we're probably going to get started on some sweet Dark Imperium stuff soon.
Well, thank you very much for being on here. We hope that you stick around. Actually, sorry, quick interjection here. For those who don't know, Scott is actually the leader of the
we didn't even talk about that.
Branch,
okay, we should talk about this briefly.
That we are including in our
a new staff member, AYB family. Scott is heading up the Infinity division of things. We're going to try and start pushing that, getting some more people into it. It's a really tight game.
Anything you want to say about that? Fire away.
Oh yeah, it's
bullshit. Thank you, Juice.
Thanks. It's a really tight game system. It's different than 40k. Like, they're not really the same in the sense that 40k is like grand battle tanks and like monsters and stuff. Infinity's like 10 to 15 guys in like terrain dense cities. And
or Necromunda EO.
Yeah. And the main thing that's different is like it's always essentially your turn. So even when it's not your turn, your guys can like react by taking shots and dodging out of the way. So there's a lot of cool stuff that can happen with that.
Very neat.
Yeah.
I like the terrain a lot too.
Do you have any kind of like a night or anything that's going on, or if people want to play, where do they go?
Well, we're thinking we're probably going to start playing here and
in City Comics.
In City Comics, yeah. Whenever there's open gaming, because I think you guys like there's the 40k dedicated night, but there's going to be more like an open gaming AOS Warhammer Infinity.
As far as I know, Saturday afternoons are pretty open slate where they plan to have 8 tables set up. So that would be.
And I'll be bringing my terrain. I got lots of sweet city terrain and stuff, and probably get some more down here. So
very good.
Awesome.
It'll be good.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, sir.
Thanks.
Also, if you're interested in this Chaos Demons Codex, I think the price is currently at $100.
Actually, last I checked, we had bumped up to $800. So it's a real hot topic.
Can add it to the stack of third ed.
Well,
that's right.
For you, Scott, obviously we have to make a little money here, so I'm thinking like $811 or something like that.
Well, that's
$810.
That's a good price.
Yeah. We're gonna say that. We're gonna soft
round
yes.
it off. Yeah,
soft yes.
$810.
If anyone OBO.
We'll just catch you at the end of the night.
BYOB OBO.
Perfect. All right. Cool. Scott Newell, ladies and gentlemen,
thank you for joining us. Infinity, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Scott's a nice guy. I like him.
So
get this chair the hell out of here.
Get his stupid chair out.
All right. So what we're going for now is we're gonna do a little unveiling.
Okay.
Right.
Let's do it.
So
we're not getting into that part yet. We got this from producer Scott.
Okay. I don't know what the hell that means.
I believe that means tread water.
Tread water.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So here we go.
I mean, as far as 8th is concerned, the things that I'm liking are pretty much anything. Oh my god. I was worried that D weapons were going to get a huge nerf, and they really didn't. Essentially, everything is D weapons.
Mr. Josh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for helping us out here.
This is a long show. It's going to feel like it too, apparently.
$811 if you can afford this.
But what I'm liking is that all these D-weapon-y weapons that I was afraid were going to suck don't.
Yes, that's right.
Most of them are just auto 6 damage. I mean, there is some gross stuff. The Shadow Sword included. I like Wraith Knights quite
There's
a bit.
a lot of interpretations of where these weapons should have gone. And the nice part is, too, is that not all of them are just like Strength D, AP what?
Yeah, it didn't matter before, right?
Some of them are a little more fluffy, like the Claw of Gork and Mark, really good. Like there's a number of weapons that are a little fluffier that used to just be a D weapon.
Well, and in a lot of respects, too, it's almost better than a D weapon now. I mean, you don't have the unsavable 6 anymore, but you don't need to roll a 6 anymore.
Yeah.
When it's an auto 6 damage, I mean, you get one wound go through if it's a character that you really need to kill and you're hoping that they just screw up a bunch of invul saves. You can squeak by. Whereas before, it was not the case. I'm liking this environment. It's a very fluid environment.
It's good, yeah. There's Mike dropping by.
What's your favorite thing about 8th, Dan? What's your absolute... What are you most
Well, I mean, I'd be
about?
lying if I didn't say that it gave orcs a purpose again.
Right.
And I know that I always bring everything back to them because I am a martyr.
Good for you.
I'm a martyr in the name of...
Nobody cares.
The name of
way.
Gork
no one cares
or Mark.
That you've bought a bunch of useless crap for years.
But yeah, I love that they're playable again. I love that NIDs are playable again. I love that there's so much viable shit now that before kind of existed in its own little dark corner with nobody to use it.
Yep. And that was a little bit of filler, which I'm happy to have participated
That's what we call
in.
treading water, folks.
Anyway, what we're going to get to now is that unveiling I talked to before.
That's correct.
We're going to open
a 7th edition Demons Codex available to you. I think the current bid is at $812, so if you can bump it up to $15, we're looking for multiples of 3 at this point.
Do you like irrelevant old stuff? Then that's...
Look, we don't want to call it irrelevant. We just want to call it an aged piece of artwork.
I'm selling it. Either
Look at that. Beautiful watercolor paintings.
What everybody really wants to see
Lots of
is
text.
the unboxing of the Dark Imperium box set here. Dan, since this is yours, why don't you...
Actually, I think this one's Scott's. I think I saw him pay for it. So
Okay, well, Scott paid for it.
let's have a look-see.
Be rough with it, I
Okay.
guess.
Ooh, I like how they've gone back to the slipcase.
We've gone back to the slipcase.
Ooh, there's even patterns on the
Make
inside.
sure you let everyone see that wonderful box
Look at that.
art.
Look at that beautiful pattern.
got
Oh, man. Hey, Scott. Look at that beautiful pattern.
There's that on the back here.
That is...
Now, from what I'm looking at,
Oh, man, we even got some previews on the sides here.
so we've got...
Scott, you're going to have to be careful with that light there.
You know, here, I'm gonna go
Look at these beautiful previews, folks.
I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna get into this box legitimately here. I'm going to get into the Chaos Codex.
Okay, here we go. We're pulling it, pulling it, nulling it. Here we go.
Death Guard. All right.
Okay, so it looks like the top piece contains all of the plastic. I think that's a safe bet. And in the bottom, we have
A rule book.
hardcover, which is actually kind of a big deal for a starter box. Usually they give you the smaller one. We've got Primaris Space Marines core rules, and it looks like 2 other pieces in there. So one of them is obviously Death Guard.
Yeah, so you're just getting this part of the book, I'm assuming. I can't even show that.
Let's open up
You
this
didn't
bad
see
guy.
it.
Oh, you know what? I got it. Thank you.
didn't
Producer
see it.
Josh, always there with the tools.
There are pages that relate directly to the Death Guard and in the Primaris Marines as well in the
Okay.
Imperium book. So
So we've got the Primaris Space Marines rule set, and we've got the Death Guard booklet. It looks like, Rory, you are correct.
By middle of next month, I'll have 7.
These are all Death Guard unique units. So yeah, this isn't just a Chaos book. It's
Death Guard specifically.
Yeah.
This is what you need to play what's in the box.
And
Nothing
then you got
else.
instructions.
Don't get ahead of yourself. think you're going to be playing the whole...
Actually, these are kind of neat instructions. Okay, so previously instructions were always just black and white sort of photocopies. These ones are actually full color with different sections highlighted so you know what you're working on. That's actually really nice.
Yep. No, this is the nicest starter box that I've ever seen.
Yeah, plus the hardcover rules. Lots of people asking questions about the transfers.
Lots of transfers.
Have a look at those, ladies.
Shitload of transfers. You got them all, right there.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Shoot.
Well done, Dan. I thought you had your
Ladies and gentlemen, producer Josh is on his way back over
I thought
here.
you had your starting radio.
So, transfers, here we go. Very nice. Looks like we've got Blood Angels, Ultramarines, Dark Angels, Space Wolves. There was actually chatter on the internet about that, how the transfers are limited now.
Also comes with red dice.
Oh, wow.
Red dice. Little red dice. Bases, flying bases here with the new flying... What is this? No, but isn't this for flyers? This
Hover base.
hover base.
That's what she said.
All right. Just because it hangs a little to the left doesn't mean it doesn't work. Also,
It's good at reaching.
a ruler.
Nice.
Hold that the right
That
way.
is great for crafting.
Am I holding it backwards? I can't tell.
You can give that to your kids on first day of school.
I wouldn't give anything in this box to a child. There are a lot of choking hazards.
So yeah, there has been some chatter online about how the transfers only come with 4 different factions. There was, I believe, someone emailed Games Workshop saying that. Sorry. Oh yeah, I believe someone emailed Games Workshop asking them when transfers would be available for other guys. They said to just keep an eye out for box sets that would include actual shoulder pads for different legions. So I think they're probably going to start phasing these out to some degree in favor of actual sculpted pieces. Which
That's
honestly,
fine.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
100% okay with that. I've never been a fan of transfers. I will always hand paint stuff given the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm an elitist piece of garbage. That's
Producer Scott rubbing this thing.
yes, I did. Both sides were checked. Thank you very much.
Got some bases on that side, 32 mils.
32s. You got your 54s, 39s. I don't know. I'm making up numbers.
Right, Narcs, buckle up. It's time to actually get into the
There's
plastic.
the meat of potatoes.
All right, here we go.
I feel real good about the meat of potatoes.
Oh, we got a bit of an Imperial seal here.
Oh, sorry guys. Dan doesn't know how to open a friggin' box. I almost used my 3rd swear of the month on that.
You need to change your life.
You
man.
need to learn how to open an
Scott's got a
inquisitional-
daily.
I don't need a daily.
I mean,
Look,
Josh has a daily.
I've got fingernails.
I mean, producer Josh has a daily.
All right. Build the suspense, Dan. That's how you build the suspense.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Right.
Wait.
Sprue Primero, the first sprue.
Wait.
Dan,
Wait.
hold this up.
Wait.
Show
Yeah,
everybody.
got it.
All right, so we got some Plague Marines, guys. We got lots of Plague Marines.
This looks like a Primaris Marine. Yeah. These are definitely Primaris.
Okay, we got Primaris.
We got Primaris then.
These are Plague. So we've got. Where are the books? Josh, you got the books? No, not that one. The little books. The teeny books.
The teeny weeny peeny books.
Yeah, I know that GW is already.
Poxwalkers? Those look
yeah,
like
the
Poxwalkers.
Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay. So we got Primaris, we got Poxwalkers, we got Plague Marines, we got regular Marines.
You know what I kind of worry about is that the size of these Plague Marines might make the current Plague Marines that I own look weird.
Yeah, there's gonna be a mixture, and I mean,
Maybe it'll just be some of them are like the tall guys in the crew.
you know what? Personally, man, I've always been a big fan of the older models. Like I'm a big Road Trader guy, but I don't see a problem as long as you got an entire squad of one type. It just makes it easier to tell them apart.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but this is the sprue with the Malignant Plague Caster and also the dude with the bell, the noxious
I will find
guy.
out what his name is.
Really cool looking stuff. Like immediately when I look at the sprue, I'm kind of noticing how highly detailed all of it
the
is.
Lord of Contagion and the Malignant
yeah.
Plague Caster.
So compared to some of the Plague Marine stuff that we were dealing with, I think the last release of Plague Marines was 5th edition, aside from Forge World stuff. These are insanely detailed. I think the closest thing you could probably pull off next to them would be Forge World ones.
Or just Age of Sigmar stuff recently.
Yes, yeah, some of the taller stuff.
That's the nice thing, is that we've watched these gorgeous Age of Sigmar models roll out off the shelves, and now we're finally getting a new 40k release. So obviously they were waiting for this, but I mean, when you look at the detail on these Primaris, like the Primaris Captain, or whatever his actual name is, I mean, this stuff is gorgeous. This stuff is highly detailed, super clean looking. I mean, I'm used to the starter kits being kind of crappy.
Yeah.
You get those click, one omniposable Space Marines, and this is just as nice as nicer than any kit you're gonna get right now.
Yeah.
So
you know what? Like, even looking at some of this stuff,
dude, these jump packs alone are gorgeous, man.
Like the drone is really nice.
So, I mean,
this is definitely the highest quality starter box.
This is a 10 out of 10 GW product.
This blows Blackreach out of the water.
Yeah, this is not a garden variety entry level. We gave you a bunch of stuff, so everything that we gave you is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
This is, everything in this box is 100% worth what you pay for. I love these, man. These Pox Walker guys are great. Everything about this is great. I honestly, I'm not even being a corporate shill right now. Nobody pays me to say this.
Nobody pays Rory at all.
Nobody pays me anything. I live in a box. This stuff is gorgeous, man. I would be super happy if I bought this. I did buy Blackreach, or not Blackreach.
A close up of the Pox Walkers.
Vengeance, Dark Vengeance, and I'm bummed. Anyway, as the night rolls on, our next guest coming on is going to be Kate, who plays Nurgle. So this will be a nice little segue into...
So I guess we'll take a quick little break, and we'll be right back with Lady Kate.
Hey, Kate. All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Producer Josh used to have a kid, but no one knows where it went.
Yeah,
We're back here at Hidden City Comics.
Hey!
714 Watt Street. We're here for the 8th edition midnight release.
We are joined by Kate, who is a 40K player. But before we get into that, I just want to mention a little bit more about Hidden City Comics, and we want to talk about it because they've got an awesome offer going on to everybody, actually. And the benefit of Hidden City is that they are offering a 15% off discount store-wide on GW products. And what that means is if they don't have it in stock, they are able to order it for you via their GW shipment, which means anything that you want that they don't have in stock, you can get in at 15% off within a week, typically, as there is usually a GW delivery within that time frame, as I understand it. So what that means is anything you want GW-wise, if you come down to Hidden City and you order it here, you're getting it at a way better cost, which is a huge benefit.
Yeah, even that, like the 9-foot-tall Blood Angel.
I don't know about that. But what I am saying is that I think that is a awesome way to save a little bit of money on what is it's definitely an incredibly expensive hobby.
Yeah, no, there's no denying that. And honestly, I've been selling a couple models on eBay right now, and it reflects of that, which is nice. Yeah, I've been very lucky there. But if you want to get into this, if you don't have a little bit of coin saved up, it's going to be a slow
it's a little
start for you.
That being said, though, we are at the cusp of a new era.
That's correct.
With a way to get your hands on models for a little bit less than what you would be able to get them anywhere else. Hidden City is becoming one of the better places in the city to play a game of 40K as well, Saturday afternoon, so they understand it are a pretty great time to come down here and check it out. So we will start coming down here. There will be the opportunity you can buy a 7th Ed Demon Codex, pretty much brand new.
Yeah, we're I think at $815 right now. So we had a $3 bump just over the break. Good deal.
That's one buyer,
absolutely.
One buyer has dropped out.
Vintage.
But as I am saying, they are a great sponsor of ours. We are on location right now, and I think that if you're not going to come down here to play, you should definitely come down here to buy your models. And I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor, because I am not getting any money at all.
He's got tape holding his hat on, man. So
you spent more.
I am so broke. It is not even funny.
If you actually, $815 or a new hat. If you have a new hat that you could get, Rory, you could get this Demon Codex.
or a new hat.
Oh, someone just bought a Demon's book.
All right, highest bid currently.
Producer Josh.
Scott's hat.
Scott, rather.
Scott's hat.
Oh, it's kind of sweaty.
So yeah, Hidden City Comics. Come check them out. Comics or 40K.
Cool. So now that Kate had to sit through that,
you gotta plug the sponsors. You gotta plug them.
You call me Chad?
I did call you Chad.
Chad's the man you work with.
That's your new name.
At your real job.
I
saw Chad earlier tonight, actually.
I yell at him a lot.
Great guy, Chad Anderson.
Correct him a lot.
Need any plumbing done?
Don't call him.
Hey, he'd know better than me.
Kate, you are jumping in feet first into the new age of 40K. How does that make you feel? You played a little bit of 7th, right?
Yeah, I basically bought models in 6th and started trying to play in 7th, and it was really difficult because there was so many rules and, so detailed. And then when I tried 8th, what was it, like a couple weeks ago?
You played a whole game with producer Josh, actually, right?
Yeah.
He was also new.
Yeah. That was a very fun game, very interesting. He was playing Tyranids, I was playing my Nurgle, and it's much more simplified, and it's so much easier for me to get into, to be able to start, with rolling the dice, right? The numbers and remembering all the...
Starting from scratch in 7th was brutal.
It sucked.
For anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And we made mistakes constantly, even right up until today.
Yeah, and you've been playing since 3rd, I played 5th and 6th, and 7th was trying.
Yeah, we really did try. And I can't imagine for someone who hadn't played at all before or much to actually just get on board with buying the 10 books that you needed and just giving her and knowing it all in your brain. So you'd play a lot of long games in 7th if you didn't know everything perfectly, if you weren't a juice.
So overall, what would you kind of say about 8th? to somebody else who maybe hasn't picked it up yet?
Honestly, I'd say it's probably super easy to get into. Absolutely love it. It's coming from a girl. And it's a lot of fun. Like, there's kind of a storyline to it, but it's still, I don't know, just so much simpler.
Yep. And
I just love it.
I liked what you brought up there, being a girl, and I want to kind of like gently bring this up. But I mean, how is it?
I've always wondered what it's like.
Yeah, how is it being a 40K player as a woman? How does that?
Sorry, are you assuming my gender?
Hey-o. I thought only white guys said that.
It's 2017, and I have been in trouble since January. No, but I mean, is it as weird as I feel like it would be? Like, I mean, I've been in a store when girls walk in, and you can feel buttholes tighten up, and it's not their buttholes, but
also, yeah, I guess like another thing you'd have to deal with too is like the guys that are like I don't know. Girls in game stores usually get mobbed, and there's usually a lot of dudes yell talking. Like there's
mobbed with a lot of back space. Like they want to be close, but they don't know how to accomplish
proximity flirtation. I guess you call it. It's not even flirtation so much. It's just like getting their stench near you.
A lot of heavy.
A lot of nervous.
Well, luckily with the stench part, I work for AYB Online and being stuck in a community center full of computer nerds, man.
Who are buying dollar hot dogs.
And
think
hot
about
computers.
that.
How can you
it
not?
gets sweaty. So the stench isn't too bad.
Man, imagine 2.5 days straight of dollar hot dogs
I'd
and not bathing.
I'd rather not. Would you say that it's intimidating at all? I mean, is there any kind of...
Honestly, walking in, one, it looks like a bit of a sausage fest. Two,
It is
Absolutely.
Germany in bratwurst season. It is the sausage fest.
Summertime in Central Park.
Yeah.
In the beginning, though, I do have to admit, it was kind of hard to, like, spark up a conversation with you guys and stuff, just because I didn't really know what to talk about, because you guys are going nuts with names and this and that.
Not us specifically.
No,
right?
not you guys, just us in Warhammer.
Yeah, the community,
world,
Right.
The community. So it was intimidating that way, but now that I even just skimmed over the book, I can talk to you guys about stuff, about rules, about the models, and even then, when you were bringing up the guys issue, that never was an issue for me, luckily, because everyone knows that I was with one of the guys.
Well, you're a nerd.
So
You're a nerd, right? I mean, I'm a nerd. I'm not saying it as like a derogatory thing, but I just want to confirm that,
You're
like,
a nerd?
I am a huge nerd, 100%.
Yeah, I believe Kate likes Legend of Zorlda.
Oh yeah, Zolda's a great
wait,
little girl.
That's the guy in the green tunic, right?
Yes, that's the one. Zorlda is the guy in the tunic, yeah.
Kate, maybe, I mean, I don't know.
I believe the plumber Danky Kang is another famous
I
one.
love me some Danky Kang. If you had any advice for maybe guys who have girlfriends that they think would enjoy, maybe not romantic girlfriends, but if you know a girl...
Kate, can you tell me how to convince my girlfriend to enjoy this hobby with me?
And you want to get them into the game, what maybe, like, is there anything specific?
One, I'd tell them that there's some decent looking guys there, so you'd be able to impress them if they're single.
Okay, so lie is essentially what you're saying. Bold-faced lie.
Well, producer Josh isn't too bad looking.
Josh is handsome, but he's never on camera, so what are you going to do?
What the hell? What are you going to do? Why are you guys?
Okay, so be full of shit. Okay, anything else?
That's super easy to get into, and actually for girls, I tried this with my girlfriend, and we, I showed her all of the armies, and out of all of them, she picked Slanesh.
Okay.
And
Nice,
that one actually can kind of go toward girls, get them into it.
I think that says a lot about your friend, I gotta be honest.
Or even
Is she here?
the noise marines and stuff.
Right. Use it.
Yeah.
They love the arts.
Well, they're pink.
They're pink.
No, that's fair. They're also breasty. They're like, we're not talking like 2, we're talking 6.
Oh, yeah.
Like her.
Oh, yeah.
Even those snaky things have 6 human breasts on them. I don't feel like most women are like, hey, how many breasts does this hobby have?
Yeah, there's one girl going around the internet with 3, so.
That's true. Oh, man, no, I believe that. And good for her, but... so what are you making right now? What's your army du jour?
Right now it's just strictly Nurgle
these guys.
demons.
Strictly Nurgle.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nurgle demons.
Nurgle demons.
So are you a big hobby?
dang it.
Are you a big hobby person? I mean,
See, I like painting canvases. I like drawing. I'm very artistic like that.
I really thought I'm
But
also autistic.
Painting the models, I freaking hate it. And Scott won't do it for me. It makes me mad.
Okay, so you're gonna have to paint
But-
your own.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're saying.
But I'd love converting them. Absolutely love it. And I think if I had to get into another army, it would be orcs.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the
crap out of it.
because that's what Dan's big deal is. He's Mr. Hot Rod. Like he likes to just buy.
That's
car
also why I
models.
got into Nurgle too, for the same reasons, is that they're really malleable. Like you can change
I
them
was-
all you want.
Feather
was-
crab. Like he's got an arm cup. We got a pustule.
It's so much fun though, just to be able to make it like almost comedic. Like I have one guy who's pooping in a Space Marines helmet.
I would love
and
to
then
see
a
that.
couple other
You should have
Nurglings,
brought that. That
and it
would
makes
be-
it a Nurgling horde.
I promise to this podcast that we will show Kate's defecating in another man's neck.
I also have another guy stuck in a bell,
Great.
and he's hanging by a chain by 2 other Nurglings.
See, this is great, and it tells a story, and I'm all about telling a story, and I've always been about telling a story.
I acquired a Glotkin from Kate to
Oh, yeah.
convert into a Chaos Knight, and she had a little dude, a Nurgling, on a swing hanging from the horn, made out of chains and stuff. Made sure that's still
Do you
there.
want that back, Kate? Is that something that you would like to buy back from?
Honestly, no.
You could use it as a
I could not
knight.
imagine painting that thing. I was not looking forward to it whatsoever.
The bigger the better,
Converting,
man.
I was so excited, but
Little
painting,
stuff? Oof.
nah.
Oosh.
Well, I mean, is there anything else that you want to kind of say about the hobby or what you've been doing, or personal opinions about 8th? This is your time. This is Kate's
Honestly?
corner. We've transitioned.
What do you think of the mayor?
Oh god, don't get me started about that. Honestly, right now, I'm actually really impressed with the environment that we're in currently. How well it turned out, how the community came together, came all here. Basically, half the community's here anyways.
Right.
So they're probably not watching our podcast, but they're playing games, which is neat.
They'll watch it in syndication.
Yeah.
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 After Oprah.
I'm so happy that the game got way easier because now I can actually put my foot in the door and keep it there.
And that's the best part about this, is that there are so many people who wanted to play for so long, and now that you have the opportunity, it's like clean slate. Everyone's starting the same.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, some people are going to have a better idea of where the rules are going, just based on experience. But I still don't know how I feel about these.
Scott was actually telling me a couple neat things that those would be handy for.
Go ahead, hit them up. What do you got?
Freeze them in a little
Okay,
block
so
of ice. And you
to
can
know
use it in
how
a
many
drink.
guys died in your army, each of the dice with the skulls on them have numbers. So say if like 2 guys died in
Right.
like the troop,
So you're talking about like a total death count.
Oh, for each unit.
so then you know for like the morale checks and stuff.
Okay, that's better than the wound counter. That's,
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Because well, wound counter. Come on, how many wounds do some of them have?
Well, yeah, you need D20s.
Yeah.
You need D20s.
And then like I guess the drop pod and
Yeah, I mean, those are like, those are for kind of game mechanic based. I mean, whatever. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy them. I'm just saying.
A real issue with those command dice.
I don't know how I feel about it. Anyway,
but yeah. So maybe you play a game, I can actually beat you and
you could
your butt.
probably beat me. I will gladly play a game with Kate, and we will talk about the battle report here on the show.
Amen.
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 Well, thank you very much for being on here, Kate. We appreciate you coming
problem.
on and talking to
Love
us,
being
giving us the female perspective in a largely fart and male dominated game.
That's right. There's a lot of farts in this. this game.
Oh yeah.
Remember, be
there
full of
most
shit.
Definitely is.
All right.
All right, guys.
So we're going to take a quick break.
take another little
Yep.
break.
And I think
we'll
we're
be right
coming back, possibly with another guest, possibly not. Maybe Rory will.
Steve Rayner, actually.
Maybe Rory will shave his chest for you guys.
Steve Rayner. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Definitely is.
All right,
guys.
So we're going to take a quick break.
Take another little break.
And I think we're coming back, possibly with another guest, possibly not. Maybe Rory will.
Steve Rayner, actually.
Maybe Rory will shave his chest for you guys.
Steve Rayner. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Definitely is.
All right, guys.
So we're going to take a quick break. And I think we're coming back, possibly with another guest, possibly not. Maybe Rory will.
Steve Rayner, actually.
Maybe Rory will shave his chest for you guys.
Steve Rayner. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Definitely is.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a quick break.
And I think we're coming back, possibly with another guest, possibly not. Maybe Rory will.
Steve Rayner, actually.
Maybe Rory will shave his chest for you guys.
Steve Rayner. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Definitely is.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Definitely is.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we're back. We got producer Scott at the helm because producer Josh disappeared, much like his child did.
We're here with my best friend in the whole world.
We're back at the midnight release here at Hidden City Comics for the 8th edition
Not real.
drop.
Doesn't even like me.
He's alright.
Yeah,
Not his best friend.
He tolerates. Indifferent.
We got Steve Rayner here,
My best indifferent friend.
Rory's best indifferent friend. Steve, did you just complete the game that you were playing? No, you guys are
I
still
was
playing
midway
it?
through, and I've got my partner in crime, Fifi Lamore.
Beautiful.
My girlfriend.
She's been on the
Yeah.
show before.
She is completing the turn.
My exotic
behalf.
lover.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She's a fancy lady.
It's a real thing, and I'm into it. Super big deal.
She's got some big deals on it.
Hey, this is a family show, for fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
Coca-Cola. My goodness.
Don't tell them who said it.
Anyway.
So how's the game going right now?
Good. We're fighting against Magnus, and so we're getting our teeth pushed in.
Yeah.
What's
Did
that
Magnus assault the flyer?
Not yet. He's going to do that. He assaulted the Land Raider and took it down to 4 wounds.
Still in the works?
He's brutal. He's
Took the Land Raider down to 4, eh? So that's
In
20.
one.
In one?
Yeah. Out of 16.
Wow.
He's brutal.
That's
So we got to mitigate
disgusting.
that. But it's it's a learning process. We just got the books tonight. We didn't have them before tonight, and we're learning. It's a learning curve.
Hey, you like to read? Do you like to learn? Have I ever got the game for you?
You guys a big fan of Warhammer 40,000? If you're looking for a Chaos Demons Codex,
Do you find deodorant to be an inconvenience in your daily life? Well,
I believe the current bid is 818.
Jamrock.
You'll be welcome.
Yeah. I mean, overall, though, we're kind of getting everyone's opinion on it. And it may be sort of broken records. Everyone really loves Ace.
I've been playing since 2nd. I started playing in 1993.
Oh, gee.
And this is
I got my RBO 1s from you.
This is probably the best time I've ever had with it.
Yeah, isn't
Really,
this case?
really impressed.
We haven't talked to a lot of people that played 2nd. Is it not closer to 2nd than it was 3rd? On some level,
It's different. 2nd was like such a small scale.
Does
like
it
was
harken? Does it harken
Yeah,
to
sure.
it? Okay.
It makes you feel good.
does it make you bleary-eyed?
It harkens.
Harken.
Yeah.
We're harkening.
It was a squad-based, very small game, right? You'd have one vehicle on the table, and now
Right,
it's like
yeah,
you
yeah,
got
yeah.
knights, you got
Little
flyers, you got all
skirmishes.
kinds of crazy stuff.
It
right?
does feel a lot more close though than in 7th. I mean,
Yep.
we had access to these units, but it was like a drop in the bucket. Like you could still afford a fairly large army if you had a Lord of War. Now Lord of War kind of is a centerpiece.
Yep.
Potentially, anyway. I mean, it depends what you play, but
And from what I'm hearing, I think if you put 3 knights down and there isn't line of sight blocking, they're going to dominate because they're going to kill the things that can kill them, and that's so.
Right.
There's that, and then any kind of spam, Torok spam is going to be a thing.
yeah, I can
Scion
attest to
bomb.
Lehman Russ spam really
Lehman
sucking.
Russ spam.
People have been talking about that Scion
Tau
bomb.
Commander spam is something else. I'm hearing
Spam
about.
is back,
So
and I gotta
spam-
admit,
well, that's what
I'm a big spam man.
you are a spam.
I am a
man.
spam man, and I just found out that I have 8 blood slaughterers, and they are pretty good.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, that worked out decent.
I hear Corn Berserkers are good too.
Yeah, I got a fair amount of them as well. I don't like variety.
Yeah, of course he
I'm a
does.
white man who's afraid of change.
You might call Rory
Give me what I
a
got.
porn
I've been sitting on Blood
berserker.
Angels Army for 2.5 years, so I'm really happy right now
Yes.
with the current meta.
That is like the one thing I've heard from most people is like, I had this, it has dust on it, and now
And
I
I'm
get
able
to
to dust
play
it off them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and if that's not what this, I mean, like, of course they're shoving new beautiful models down our throat, which is as GW does,
Of course.
But at the same time, they're saying, hey, you can play some of that old dusty stuff, and
Yeah.
it doesn't suck anymore.
And I think everyone's happy to see Guard, and everyone's happy to see
Oh, yeah.
Orcs and Dark Angels and all those
Thank you.
Hi,
those
Polly.
things.
Yeah.
Hey, Polly, how's
Yeah,
it going?
saying hi to our message board there, Polly.
Yeah. So we're happy. We're happy to see the changes. We're happy to see the weaker armies, the lower power codexes be valued again.
We're playing vanilla, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's like everybody kind of sucks.
Yep.
In the same way, like certain things are good. Everybody's got something, right? Everybody's got something that isn't terrible. But for the most part, we're playing like you're blind. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of flavor. Space Marines, especially. This is the most bland we've seen Space Marines, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Because you have to think
It's
about the
more
way you want to play the game, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has that ability, and how can I bubble wrap this? This isn't terrible. This is winning me games. How do I bubble wrap this? How many las cannons can I put on this?
Yep.
Which is a question that nobody has asked for a very long time.
time.
But
Yeah.
there's a count. There's a hard count at everything. If you take
Yep.
las cannons and you play against hordes, it doesn't help you because 6 wounds on a single orc or a single zombie is still
Yeah.
just kills one guy.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. thing, right? We're going to see these spam lists, and they're going to become the meta, and then the meta is going to become the counter to that meta.
Yeah, and that's how it develops, right?
I mean,
and within 3 or 4 years, we'll break the game again, and they'll have to have 9th edition.
Well, no, but I mean, that's the beauty of it, though.
Yeah.
Is now chapter approved is coming back, so every 6 months.
Gross Fabio's here.
Hey, everyone! What about Italy?
Who let him in?
Right? How do you feel? How do you feel about the Pope? We're indifferent on this show. No opinion whatsoever. Don't write me letters.
People from Brandon, people from Winnipeg.
GW is there. Apparently, they're going to release an FAQ within the next couple of days on the edition they just released, which is awesome. So all the rules that don't make any sense. Right?
They're engaging the community. They're being really interactive. It's a good time. It's a good time to be playing this game.
Why wouldn't you want to talk to the people that are? I mean,
making it.
Even a drug dealer talks to you for a little bit.
Well,
how's your day going?
And
man?
let's be real.
But he makes you wait.
A kind of a drug dealer relationship.
He'll make you wait, though.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "Yeah, I'll be there in half an hour," and then 2 years go by, and you're like, "Where's that new edition?"
Okay, so Homer is asking what the Chaos Fire Raptor is like. I have the Imperial Armor. It is on my phone.
Oh, there we go. This
battery.
is the hot heat.
So you guys keep going. I have 5% to find Homer's question.
This is that hot heat right here that we've been waiting for.
You keep going. I got a listener. I got a viewer to.
All right, yeah. So,
so you play Orcs. How's that been for last time?
It really fucked with me mentally for a long time.
It's like being in an abusive relationship.
Yeah, except in the worst way, because every morning I keep waking up and everything's fine.
I'll get a job tomorrow, baby.
I'll get a job. Yeah, so now finally I guess I got a job in that regard.
Yep.
Orcs are usable again, which is nice because honest to God, I was playing. I went 2 and 3 at POW, which isn't terrible, but other people had worse experiences. But man, I didn't have a chance. You know what I mean? There was not a chance. Mathematically, I would have never been top tier using any of that stuff.
Yep.
Wouldn't even matter what combination.
You didn't even believe in yourself, right?
It was 7th was broken. It was a bad system.
Yeah.
Rory and I had a game at POW that was just, if it had been in the basement, we would have just re-racked.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
It was just
I felt bad. I will say on air that I felt like a little jerk.
I understood you were upset.
You said the F word 3 times already.
Steve stole the initiative from me.
Jerk is where you're gonna call
killed
it.
my whole army. I positioned myself aggressively, and it was over for me. But
I've had it done to me.
It happens.
It sucks.
It happens.
And I felt bad too. I was like, man, sorry. But I'm not gonna pull a punch.
No, and you shouldn't have to. And instead of dragging out at the 5th game of a 2-day tournament, I just gave up. I want to quickly address Homer here. Homer was asking what the Chaos Fire Raptor is like. It's got airborne, hard to hit, supersonic, crash and burn, and hover jet. So before this model moves in your movement phase, you can declare it will hover. Its move characteristics becomes 20 inches until the end of the phase, and it loses airborne, hard to hit, and supersonic abilities until the beginning of the next movement phase. It's got access to the Twin Avenger Bolt Cannon, which is a 36-inch range, heavy 10, strength 6, AP -2, damage 2. I won't go through all the profiles. Strength 8, toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 9, save 3+.
It's alright.
The Chaos Fire Raptor looks pretty good. It looks like a nice fly.
It's doable.
I don't
give it a try.
I don't dislike it. I think you should play it if you got it. All night. Yeah, you got any questions about the Imperial Armor Chaos or the books, let me know. I will try to answer them.
We're at a stage right now where it's just whatever you've got, put it on the table and see how it does. And what there's no this doesn't work and this is shitty or whatever.
There's no auto
include. There's no. It's all we all need to get 100 games in before we know what's going on, right? 100. So let's all get our games in and let's do 3 or 4 games a week.
You sit in the basement, you play against yourself in a mirror.
I play with myself all the time.
Lose and win every game. Yeah. And I didn't mark down on one of them. Right.
Sometimes, a few more times.
Show for grown-ups.
We're almost getting to midnight here.
We're almost getting to midnight. Once again, I think Steve was about to head off. Where are we, Steve? Right?
We're at Hidden City. Thank you to Hidden City for having us here.
Like I said, 15% off.
Thanks so much. We really appreciate it. This whole community is saying how we really are very happy that we have a place to be, and we're really happy to support Yeah, there's like 30 people here. So
Unfortunately, I mean, we had planned on having more of an involved media presence where you can see that. And we got 30 people in a little FLG. It is a comic book store, and it is full of nerds. Weird, right? Anyway, you should come down here. You should buy stuff. Like I said before, come down and buy stuff, and then play.
even comics, doesn't matter.
Comics, man. You like Wolverine?
But if you're watching this, you're probably going to come down for 40K.
You like Wolverine?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Steve, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Steve, a pleasure.
Hopefully I get to come on again.
We'll have you
As
back.
always. Maybe next time when Fifi's here, you can join the chorus of us singing her praises.
Yep.
It's the
I
three of
have
us.
to spend a lot of time with Fifi.
All right, guys. We're going to take one last little quick
Cheers.
break, and we're going to come back for our coup de grace.
Where we really put a bullet right in it.
It's French for crawdad.
Join the chorus of us singing her praises.
Yep.
It's the
I
three
have
of
to
us.
spend a lot of time with Fifi.
All right, guys. We're going to take one last little quick break, and we're going to come back for our coup de grace.
Where we really put a bullet right in it.
It's French for crawdad.
Join the chorus of us singing her praises.
Yep.
It's the
I
three
have
of
to
us.
spend a lot of time with Fifi.
All right, guys. We're going to take one last little quick break, and we're going to come back for our coup de grace.
Where we really put a bullet right in it.
It's French for crawdad.
Join the chorus of us singing her praises.
Yep.
It's the
I
three
have
of
to
us.
spend a lot of time with Fifi.
All right, guys. We're going to take one last little quick break, and we're going to come back for our coup de grace.
Where we really put a bullet right in it.
It's French for crawdad.
Join the chorus of us singing her praises.
Yep.
It's the
I
three of
have to
us.
spend a lot of time with Fifi.
All right, guys. We're going to take one last little quick break, and we're going to come back for our coup de grace.
Where we really put a bullet right in it.
It's French for crawdad.
Join the chorus of us singing her praises.
Yep.
This is very weird. I can't see the screen, so I don't know what's happening.
All right, everybody. So, as it turns out, we have sold the Demon Codex to Momar Sandrowski for $1,259.
Great deal, Momar.
Momar Sandrowski, everyone.
Yeah.
Congratulations, big guy.
He is the proud recipient of a totally legitimate, still playable book.
Battlescribe still has 7th edition on it, so you're good.
Yeah,
So
right.
we are back. Without further ado, we're back. We got producer Josh hanging out in the producer's seat. Big thanks to Winnipeg Police Service for bringing him back. We're here at the 8th edition midnight release here at Hidden City Comics, 714 Watt Street. Very exciting.
50% discount.
We've got producer Fabio here. Also, I'm not sure what his job is
Not
there.
actually a producer.
He works at
Don't use my actual.
I feel like he's in management. He's
okay.
in management or something.
He's got a job, folks, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
He makes
So if you
more money than me. All right.
He doesn't want people to know his business.
I've been drinking watermelon. I'll just say that.
Anyway, Fabio, how's
going on,
8th
everybody?
edition treating you?
8th edition is fantastic.
Fabio's
Now,
here.
you were posting some stuff today in the chat about a Necron Wraith list that you were working on.
Yeah, let's talk about some lists. Actually, yes. Okay, so
Back in business.
my first two lists. Actually, my first list got decimated. If anybody watched the live stream that happened on Friday.
Oh, I think they did.
Oh, that was a s'more.
Live at
Yeah, at my office. But anyway, yeah. So I've been building some new lists with the 3 detachments. Going back to the Wraith Wing, I had 4 Destroyer Lords, 3 squads of Immortals, and 28 Wraiths.
So you tried to be an asshole.
So lots of Wraiths. So it's very fast. A lot of survivability. Very little hitting power.
Do they still have a 3-up invul?
Yes, they do,
Okay.
and they have 3 wounds now apiece.
strong. That's
Okay.
pretty strong. How far do they move?
They're beasts, so they're moving like
10 inches?
10,
Yeah.
12 inches.
Let's be honest though, 3 wounds is no longer like a good amount of wounds. I mean,
Well, let's put it this way. It's better than 1. It's better than 2. Oh, 1 minute to minute. Yeah. So it's literally just a fast get in your face list. Hopefully just overwhelm, and that -1 AP is hopefully enough. I don't know.
Is enough to
You know what, though?
-1 your AP. I
3-up
guess.
invul is strong.
But then-
I think that's really
3-up
strong.
invul is-
But then we have another list that was almost exactly the same, except there's 84 Scarab Swarms in it. With no, so basically you're taking away the Wraiths and you're adding Scarab Swarms.
What's the Scarab Swarm now? Is it
It's
the same?
AKA they're useless, but they have 4 attacks each. They're hitting on 3s, and they just have anything's over strength 3. You're auto hitting on 5s.
Nice.
Okay, ready?
kinda-
We're almost at the 10-second
almost at-
countdown. And let's count it down.
Sorry.
10,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
These
Happy
are mine.
New Year!
Midnight release is official.
Welcome to 8th edition.
Just bring it in. Just bring it in. Welcome to 8th edition.
No one.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everyone for supporting Hitting City.
Is that a fart?
No, that was my chat.
Weirdos with beardos.
Beard Rob! Oh, no.
OV may or may not be a silent assassin.
He put his splinters in my face.
I miss Fifi with a lot of.
Man, we all miss Fifi.
We all miss Fifi. A little bit though. Not
lot of requests.
unofficially. Officially, we miss Fifi.
Rory lit up Fifi's phone
I
after that
had
show.
sex with her, and it was amazing.
Can we edit that?
Can we isolate that and play it back?
How do we?
I
did not have sex with that woman.
A lot of chest hair. Did not care. I will say that much.
Oh man.
And let me just
That
say,
happened.
much as Cisco would have put it, she had dumps like a truck.
She did have dumps like a truck. And it's
Yeah.
funny. 'cause
Yeah, I think she doesn't have dumps later. I think
that
she
is the
dumps like a
second
truck.
time someone has referenced that to me today.
Nice.
Shit, you
Today?
not. Yeah, today.
What are the odds though?
Double Cisco.
Apparently pretty good.
Man.
But yeah,
8th is out.
8th is out. Hidden City, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. 15% off any order. Big thanks to George for helping us out with this. We did amazing. Thank you to the community for supporting. And yeah, hopefully we can continue to do this for Age of Sigmar and anything else that comes out with
You opened a warp storm in George's heart with your money.
The black hole.
And that is nice.
Yeah.
I own this crap now. This is mine. I'm taking it.
All right, cool. I got to get my crap soon, but I think we are going to break once more just so that we can get rid of Fabio without seeing his ass. And then we may come back, I think, with one more homeboy. Yeah. We got another homeboy lined up.
Thanks
been
again,
waiting
guys.
patiently in the
Appreciate
wings.
you guys filling the void for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been fun, but
at this point,
now
I don't even
7th
know
is dead
the words
unless
that
your
are
name
coming
is
out of my
Juice.
face, so.
So if you want to play 7th, we got a guy here. We know a guy.
Living the dream. Templates and hull points, you pussies.
He's gonna be
filthy animals.
He's gonna be hosting games at his place, 7th edition only, and in between he'll be angrily masturbating.
We'll drop his address in the chat, so just make sure you look below. And
but we love him.
It's
sometimes.
Yeah, we all love masturbating. Let's not pretend that.
Oh, that is not where we're going. No, I thought we liked juice.
The CRA doesn't
I like apple juice and orange juice personally, but these guys like
it's natural. Okay,
it's the circle of
Let's
life.
take that break that we'd promised.
Yeah,
and,
please.
We'll get Fabio out of here before he starts talking about his own experiences.
Get down here and buy something.
All right.
Oh God.
We'll be right back.
Juice personally, these guys like
it's natural. Okay,
it's the circle of life.
Let's take that break that we promised.
Yeah,
and,
please.
We'll get Fabio out of here before he starts talking about his own experiences.
Get down here and buy something.
All right.
Oh God.
We'll be right back.
Juice personally, these guys like
it's natural. Okay,
it's the circle of life.
Let's take that break that we promised.
Yeah, please.
We'll get Fabio out of here before he starts talking about his own experiences.
Get down here and buy something.
All right.
Oh God.
We'll be right back.
Juice personally, these guys like
it's natural. Okay,
it's the circle of life.
Let's take that break that we promised.
Yeah, please.
We'll get Fabio out of here before he starts talking about his own experiences.
Get down here and buy something.
All right. We'll be right back.
Juice personally, these guys like
it's natural. It's the circle of life. Let's take that break that we promised.
yeah, please.
We'll get Fabio out of here before he starts talking about his own experiences.
Buy something.
All right. We'll be right back.
Juice personally, these guys like
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the midnight release here at Hidden City Games.
And even here, even now, do the Rothschilds have their greasy little fingers in what I call Objective Gate. They're the same. Brendan can confirm. We looked through the cards.
Well, that's not true.
No, elements.
I'm looking through here, and I want to know
Brendan,
where this destroy the fortification card. I needed that card.
100% agrees with me that these objective cards are not identical.
Yeah, they're pretty.
They are pretty
close.
much the same. Could you
secure objective 1, secure objective 2, secure objective 3? Secure
all of the objectives
4.
are securable.
I was looking for higher numbers.
The specialty. Oh, there's defend ones now though. You have to sit on the objective.
Go deep though. Okay,
score 2 victory points if you control.
They got
objective
Rory,
marker
this
1.
theory is unraveling.
No. The tactical objectives just got their herded. All right, it's the same. It's the same idea.
I don't understand how you can sit here and try and sell a Demon's Codex if you're making big leaps in logic.
Upwards of $1,200 for that codex.
He's got money, but I'm not going to fault him for it.
He is confused and upset. What I'm saying is that
he's not happy with his purchase.
He's super mad at me right now. But what I'm saying is these tactical objectives, if you played the old ones, I do not know if you would notice a difference. That being said, buy them.
For 15% off. For 15% off.
Are slightly different.
And you will need them. It's not like you're not going to need them.
Objectives.
If you don't have them, people will make fun of you and say you can't read good. Because I've been there.
Yeah, people call you a narc. You don't want that.
None of that. I mean, these, I don't know about these.
I don't think we need those, but
the more I drink, the less I think I need these. I don't know about you guys.
All the best decisions
Brendan,
are made when
you're
drunk.
a guard player.
Yes.
So how do you feel right now? You feel pretty good?
I feel...
Are you jazzed?
Good.
Are you invigorated?
Last Cannon Vendettas.
Man, they don't exist right now.
Do you feel like a brand new bitch?
Boss ass bitch.
Oh.
It's past midnight. We can say bitch.
So I went through the book. Through the book, and there was no Vendetta. And I went through it countless times. I'm like, there's Valkyries, there's no Vendettas. I was a little worried because I got 2 at home. They were my MVPs at Plains of War. I was a little concerned. But now that once they get released the rules, they'll be shooting out 6 last cannon shots.
So they do exist.
I think they exist in Imperial Armor now. They're one of that units that kept being swapped between Imperial Armor and Codex.
And that's not the first unit to have that happen in this edition.
I don't know.
Because what was the other Scots?
I don't give a shit about everybody else's army.
There was a guard unit that everybody was expecting, a tank that everyone was expecting to be in it, and it was not. You were talking to me about this. There's a tank that was typically in a guard codex that is not in this one. Scott will come back. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it.
But you're saying that the Vendetta, the last cannon, the Valkyrie Vendetta.
The Vendetta's not in the book. I gotta say though, looking at the guard stuff, looks really solid. Like, you can fill up that specialty battalion for that 9 CP, super cheap. Doesn't take a lot.
Grossly cheap. Like you could hit, like, potentially, we figured this. I had a little flame war with a guy on Facebook who said that 14, based on a meme that I made, was too much. And actually, you could get 30 command points in a guard list if you try hard.
Holy shit.
It's a dumb list.
You just take, I think you take like minimal scoring units and just flood the board with guard bodies.
It's a lot of bodies. It's not a great list, but you have 30 command points. You couldn't spend them. You couldn't. It's dumb.
I was going through the guard stuff. Like, our elites are cheap as chips. Commissars are like 31 points because you gotta pay for that bolt pistol. So it's 31 for a commissar.
I do like
cheap
that.
As chips.
Cheap as chips, man.
Not in today's
cheap
economy.
as Borscht.
Not
Make my Bubba proud.
There we go.
Better believe I'm not saying shit. Better believe
you can get Scout Sentinels. I think they're like 40 points or 45 points with a heavy
guard
flamer. Like, it's ridiculous guard what you can pull out. Like, I got a guard list that I want to whip around and play with. If anybody wants to take on my guard, I think there's a little intimidation from Plains of War.
That better not be code for your penis, my friend. Saying that right now because I do not.
I use my Vanquisher to demolish everyone.
That would be an awesome name for your dick. Meet the Vanquisher, ladies. It's past midnight. I say what I feel like.
I hope none of the students watch this right now.
You're not a NID guy too, though, are you?
No, I was the kind of guy that stuck to the shitty armies back in 7th. I played Guard, I played Black Templars,
me too,
and I played Chaos Space Marine. Templar love,
and
boys.
Chaos Space Marine is another high five.
Let's do it again.
Twice as many as Gabe Dance on the record.
And I had Necrons too, so I wasn't really taking the top armies right now. So
top armies are no longer a thing, though. I mean, well, a Guard seems pretty OP.
Guard seems. I haven't been able to play my Guard, but Guard seems pretty sick right now. Like, the amount of combos you can pull out. Like I said, elite choices, really cheap, and you can fill in that CP no problem. Creed's a boss. The orders blow my mind. I'm like, holy shit! And your commanders, like, people would always say in 7th edition, don't get Voxcasters. Worst 5 points. I live by Voxcasters. Auto passing those orders could be clutch. Now Voxcasters, I could argue saying they're better in 8th.
They're an auto take now.
You have a commander within 3 inches of a Voxcaster, your order range just became 18 inches. Dude. So get a couple company commanders around, and your guard blobs are just, everyone's going to get orders. So they're going to have reroll to hit ones.
Voxcaster Meat Shield and Shadow Sword is like the ultimate.
Is that what Scott brought to you?
Yeah, 1250 list. I don't know how you would be. I mean, you would have to hope that he shot poorly and rush him with Bloodthirsters. I mean, that's my option right now.
Because you're playing Khorne.
Get the rhinos in, and then hope that the Bloodthirsters can like cripple it enough and like weather enough. You know, like, you got to come out with so much stuff that he can't. Well, he can't shoot at everything though.
No.
He can. You just split fires no longer.
Heavy bolters going here. Last cannons going
30
here.
heavy bolters.
Holy shit.
30. You got 30 heavy bolters. You got like 4 las cannons, and then that stupid other big gun.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's a lot.
It's expensive though. My list, I'm looking at Pask. He's Bliss Skill 2 now. Like holy shit,
Pask is
this guy's
disgusting.
gonna tear stuff
Scott
up.
did that against me, and
Plus
I was
orders.
upset.
I don't want to give it away, but check out those orders on the Executioner Plasma Cannon tank. That's gonna make people cry because you can overcharge with reroll to
Oh
hits.
yeah, yes.
Guard is like
on here
the
talking
guard
about
is
that.
like the man bolognese sauce of fucking ATD.
And I love me some guards, so I'm tickled pink.
I hate bolognese sauce.
Like it's like I could take in my command points. I have 60 guardsmen just so I can use as meat shields to keep all the tanks alive. I don't want to give away how many tanks I have, but yeah, fuck ton of tanks.
You got a lot of tanks. Nid players as well.
I
Essentially,
heard nids are pretty sick too.
Nids are gross. Producer Josh has kind of like he's like a little guy who had a monkey and a meat grinder, and then he found out that his rich uncle left him a country. Like, he just waltzed into like, hey, it's me, Giuseppe. By the way, the monkey stays. Like it's.
Have you ever seen Mr. Deeds? And he's just like the one Spanish guy. He's just like, that's my name. That's my money.
Yeah, no,
and he's just like, that's my money.
That's
and it's
Josh.
like, you fired and you fired.
Yeah, no, that's 100% Josh. Any Nids player is essentially Jonathan Turturro. Is that guy's name?
Oh, I don't know.
Mr. Deeds. Anyway.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
I think that's his name.
Mr. Deeds.
But Marin's gonna be happy. Our buddy Marin just started Nids. He was a little concerned about how good they're gonna be. Everything looks to be pretty solid.
They're pretty good.
I mean, orcs too. I think I hope not, but Horde armies are looking pretty solid addition because of cheap as chips. Like one of the things I noticed.
Chips.
I love that saying.
Are you Amish?
Seriously?
Where did this come
I'm Ukrainian, so that's pretty damn close.
Cheap as
It's actually really funny because I was looking at guardsmen. Guardsmen 4 points, cultists are 5 points, and cultists are shitty all around the board. I don't know where that point allocation went. And guard get orders. You can buff squads with commissars, and cultists basically just get a dark apostle. So I don't know what's going on there with
Well, I'm
cultists.
glad I only had 20 of them.
I had like I think I got like 100 of them.
Either way, Brandon, you're happy.
I'm content.
Yeah.
I'd say that we've got a 99% success rate.
I think most people are. I know I was getting sick of 7th. That game was getting a little stale
You
for me.
won the last tournament, essentially.
I don't know how. I gotta say, I won the last tournament because I think I got lucky and I didn't go up against any psychic heavy lists. Because psychic in 7th, if you've ever played against like a demon psychic heavy list
You
or
were
anything,
getting some play, is what I'm saying.
I was
you're
playing-
not like a pissed off, like you're
No.
not mired in defeat. You won stuff and you were happy to transition.
I was a great way to end 7th. I was unexpected and I was happy to move on to 8th and see what 8th brings.
Well,
so
that's, I think, probably a perfect time to call it. We're getting the time signals here from producer Scott. So, Brendan Cressy,
I want to say,
gentlemen,
thank you very
thanks
much.
for coming on. And what are we doing?
I think we're doing a live switch. Is that correct?
And if you're not having fun,
No, we're not done yet.
Oh, we're not done.
Producer Josh is coming on.
one more.
So hold that thought, Rory, and you can decide later if you're having fun.
Well, get the hell out of here, Brendan.
peace out, guys.
Thanks, Brendan.
Fill it up. Okay, everyone.
Oh, Juice, you're breaking everything.
Good. I haven't broken shit. That Space Marine's worth more than your life. I don't.
Still bullshit.
All right, Producer Josh, come grab a seat here, my friend.
Josh, we're very excited to have handsome Josh.
I understand,
Always seeing his face.
He went for a ride in a police car earlier.
It was terrifying, but worthwhile.
Front seat or back seat?
Josh, I just want to say you look fucking great.
Thanks.
Right
Thanks.
now,
Like I wanted to just spruce myself up for the start of 8th edition. It's new. I'm new to the game, so you don't. It's like they used to fly in airplanes. You used to dress up for that in suits and shave, and
it's
I felt I wanted to bring.
I got a real ass question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have to fight away all the cucks when you look so sharp?
Also,
Yes.
on top of that, what's it like being
actual combat?
Being the Primarch of the
Always wanted to
Second
say
Legion?
cucks.
Is that good? Or?
Well, I mean, it's a hefty level of responsibility, but I think I can handle it.
Why am I even
been there for
bothering
a
to
while.
look at you? Like, why am I trying to make eye contact? I don't want to look weird.
I'm compelled to look into your soul.
Josh, again, our theme for the night has been asking people how they feel about 8th, and you were just stepping into it. You played one game. This is your first game of 42. Two games.
I have played
Two
two.
games. 2 games of 40K.
How's the teeth cutting been?
How's the teeth?
It's been fascinating. Like I've been producing this podcast for so long, right? So I hear like,
oh, we were supposed to hide your face.
About it's fine.
Are you fucking? Okay, Dan,
that was the plan.
Dan can't see the prompter.
No, he can't.
I love how Dan has no idea what.
It's trust me, we've got you covered, Dan. We've got you covered.
Where am I right now?
You're on my left. So no, it's been fascinating. Like I've heard you guys talk about the game for so long. For the last several months, we've been doing the podcast. Kind of, it was Greek to me. But like, I read through a 12-page PDF. I have a friend to guide me through my first game, and it clicks. It's like, okay, what's this phase? What's this phase? I'm rolling how many dice? And it's very meaty and satisfying. I'm finding like just the experience of rolling because I'm running nids and I'm getting like 60 or 70 attacks.
A lot of attacks.
Oh, cool! So I get to win. That's fun.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm gonna roll this twice.
Yeah. That's Dan. I'm gonna roll this pile of 84 times. All right.
Yeah, that's what's been happening.
Same boat,
great,
yeah.
Though, and again,
except his guys are way faster.
Not to beat a dead horse, but that is the beauty of this: is that everybody who has had an interest in it for the last, 2-3 years or whatever 7th was around for, now gets the opportunity to say, "Hey, I want to fucking play."
Yeah.
And you get to play.
I'm gonna shake my head. On camera.
No one can see you shaking your head, though.
Producer Josh always shakes his head at bad language. That's what makes him a good producer.
Midnight, I can say what I want.
I have to say, like, one of the things that did bring me into this edition is Games Workshop's new business practices. Like, knowing that they're doing the free 12-page PDF with all the core rules there. Knowing that they're
approved,
updating
FAQs.
Everything. Like, they're just doing things much more intelligently now, so I feel more comfortable jumping in. Whereas before, it's like, okay, you want me to pay how much to look at how many different books to figure out one thing and roll how many dice?
They're like a dad that doesn't drink.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
They're like a German dad before, where they were like, clean your room and then maybe you can see this. And you're like,
I have
sure, man?
So many questions right now. You have been insulting me all night, and now you're busting this out, sir.
I forgot you've got German in you. What? You're an efficient people. I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Stupid.
How do you think I run this thing?
You guys are dominating the EU right now, all right? There's no denying that.
Angela Merkel?
And you know what it is? It's straight bank and showing up to work on time. That's what it is.
And the fingertips glued together post she does. Every time she's on camera, it's just so. You guys can see this, right? You can see me doing this?
I believe they use ground up money to make the glue.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
They got a good economy, man.
So Josh, have you purchased any of the rule books? Have you gotten on board, or are you just going to borrow mine?
You got wet?
Rory, you're a good friend.
All right.
And I feel comfortable asking you.
This is the longest you've ever touched me.
Can I get coffee stains on your books? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm going to. I can't say what.
Yeah. On that note, Rory, am I allowed to shart around your books?
Just not while I'm between you two.
Super.
Like wait until there's a different moment. But I'm definitely buying it. I am absolutely
not in them, around them.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Get a hold of that. You can no longer get this.
Yeah, unfortunately,
stores.
Momar.
Contact Momar Sandrowski at Momar Sandrowski at I Have the Chaos Codex from 7th edition.org.
We heart you, Momar.
Momar is a good friend of mine.
Excellent.
He is very real.
This sounds like a Libyan name.
He is.
Yes, from West Islington of Libya.
Yeah, Rory. I didn't know you were a man of the world.
He's from Kazakhstan.
Oh, right.
My bad. I should not assume that.
Anyway, thank you very much for being on the show, Josh. You are such an integral part of the show, and now to actually have your face on for the world to see.
I try.
What a handsome man you are. I'm very.
You're making me blush.
I know I am, and I'm sure the audience can also see that. I love how Dan has no idea what we're talking about at all.
I just have a baseline assumption that Rory's always been attracted to producer Josh, and I don't see any reason to harm that.
It's 2017, and I'm just being myself.
Yeah. You know what? Just as Juice would angrily masturbate.
Okay. Anyway, Thursdays we are back at our normal time, 8 o'clock. on Facebook Live, no longer on Twitch. Don't even bother.
We're not doing Twitch at all?
No, we're coming back to Facebook, come back to our roots.
Yeah, we're going to be coming,
That being
guys.
said, next Thursday we'll be there with actual normal show with segments and everything that we normally do. Hidden City Comics. Again, come down here and buy something. That being said, if you're not having fun,
you're cheating.
Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Happy 8th midnight release with segments and everything that we normally do. Hidden City Comics. Again, come down here and buy something.